Right, should be good to go. I think we are. All right. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all having a great day today. Loki says hello. He's over here chilling out with his little ball. Loki, where are you? He may jump up, he may not. Loki. 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 Oh, he tried to jump up, but I guess he's too happy with his ball. Excuse me. But anyway, hope you guys are all having a good night. It is Friday. This will be a little bit of a different stream as normal. We'll be a lot more chill here, a lot less about the technicals and the news and stuff, although we will be talking about it. Don't get me wrong. To get everything started off, I do have a few of the goodies here. One of these is a Cuban. It smells like a cinnamon graham cracker, and I've never had this one before, so I'll be smoking this in a little bit. And the next one is going to be this one. This one lost the wrapper in transport, but I believe it's another Cuban, just the way the wrapping looks on it. But I just don't know which one it is. It seems like the structure is a little bit different. Maybe not the best of structures. But yeah, this definitely smells like a Cuban. It doesn't smell like a New World cigar here, so keep an eye out for that one. So hey Kilo, hey John, I appreciate the good message right there. Gomer Bonk definitely is moving up here. Hey Carl, happy to see you back. And what's right here? Wilder. Oh yeah, I just talked with you a few minutes ago. Happy to see you, my man. Low Roller Scratcher as always. And there we go. Brainwaves, Veronica, Tyler. Hope you guys are having a good day. All right, everybody. So a lot of stuff to talk about here today. I think the best thing to do is to most likely start with technicals for Bitcoin and altcoins, because right now we've just started a new day. We're kind of still in this consolidation range, and we're hoping that today or tomorrow is the big day where we see a larger move on the Bitcoin price, thereby kind of pushing the rest of the market either up or pulling the rest of the market down here. I'm hoping we go up. I'll be talking about the technicals here for a little bit, but afterwards, what I think I want to do is go over like 2 news articles, and then I want to pull up some data about Grayscale, because we keep on hearing about how they are selling Bitcoin, how other people are buying Bitcoin. It'll kind of open up your eyes to kind of see how much Bitcoin's being moved, both good and bad. And I think that'll be a nice thing for all of us, just, to be able to visualize it a little bit better here. So let's get started, everybody. Go over here to my middle display. Everything's working out pretty well. Let me take a sip of tea. Like always, I do got my big jug of tea. This is peach tea today. It's just, I don't know. My tea is never usually too dark, even though it might look kind of dark. But yeah, it looks a lot darker on the screen. Oh, because I have that special camera lit on there. But typically, I'm going to be drinking a lot of tea tonight. It's like, well, basically it's unsweetened peach tea. That's a good way to put it. Okay, so as far as Bitcoin's concerned, I want you guys to understand what's happening right now. We're in a very quick consolidation mode. Normally, when we consolidate after these moves, you can kind of see we've had a consolidation like that, where it lasts for like a week or something similar. This one over here, it lasted for quite a bit of time before we made a large move. This one seems like it's happening a lot faster, which is not something we normally see all too much. And what I mean by this is we do have our $64,000 resistance at this moment in time, but what do you guys see? And I know it's kind of hard to see, but you guys are looking at lower highs and higher lows here. So we're getting squeezed fast. So it's either going to be today or tomorrow, and I would guess probably sometime today, that we are going to see one of these larger moves. If you guys looking on the day chart, momentum is still bullish on the daily chart, still bullish on the weekly chart. You would assume we are going to go up and at least try to test out 67,000, 68,000 and so forth here. But right now, momentum is still going up, but we are looking at higher highs, higher lows and lower highs. So we're going to get squeezed here pretty soon. For you guys, it might look like this. Yeah, we're going to get squeezed here pretty soon. And that's the big thing I want you guys to focus on when we're talking about all of these altcoins up ahead. Okay. Now, I wanted to focus a little bit on the 4-hour chart here, because we're about to go back down, or potentially go back down below the 20 moving average here. Last time we did this, we did end up coming back down to making a new lower low here, and that led us to much more of a pennant strategy, something like that. So again, even if we were to have a larger move, I just want you guys to understand it seems like all of these lower moves are just buying opportunities until they're not. I'm still going to be buying up some of these dips. Am I as aggressive as I was just a few days ago, or even last week? Excuse me. No, I am not. I'm taking this very easy right now, and I think you're probably even going to hear a lot of other influencers or people online talk about, hey, be careful about getting into the FOMO, because all of a sudden, FOMO is going to be something that you are going to be dealing with for the foreseeable future here as the market continues to rally and rally and rally on. Typically, these bull runs tend to last for months and months and months. Not always, but if I actually go back over here to the Coinbase chart, it might be nice just to kind of zoom out here. This is usually the breakout right here with the breakout structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breakouts, right? This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've been on this path for a good amount of time, and because institutional money is in here and the way Bitcoin works, I'm not saying we're stopping at the same amount of time. I'm basically saying eventually we are going to have to consolidate. So now that we have started a new month here in March, I'm really hoping that it's basically just consolidate a little bit, consolidate for a few weeks, and not even a few weeks, we just consolidate for a little bit of time, and then we're blasting out above $69,000. And then these all-time highs from a couple of years ago, that's going to be our new level of support. It's going to be something we really don't want to fall back down below, and we shouldn't fall back down below because, again, momentum needs to keep on surging here in order to keep everybody interested in Bitcoin. Altcoins may go up much higher at the same time. It usually takes a little bit of time for those altcoins to gain. But again, we're kind of in this crucial moment where this month is everything. We have to break out this month. If we go into some ugly consolidation that lasts a while, of course, we can still break out afterwards, but it's just going to be a real painful thing to experience. So that being said, let's go over here and check out some altcoins. Let's stick to the daily charts for now, just because you guys can already see what's going on with Bitcoin. Is everything still here? Because I feel like I deleted something. Oh, no, just wrong chart. There we go. There we go. Yeah. I'll get rid of this line for now. But we're making these lower highs, and that's the big story for today. A lot of other stuff, no, it's not doing the lower it's not doing the lower highs. You see Ethereum still making some stronger moves. Things like ADA still going up higher. Dogecoin up to 14 cents. This thing is still going monster high. We haven't seen it this high since Elon Musk bought Twitter and turned it into X. So we haven't seen Dogecoin this high since November of 2022. Not November of 2023, November of 2022. It has been a very long time. And this was also the same level for Dogecoin that we had back in April of 2022, once things started to calm down just a tad after the whole SNL type of thing, the whole just, bear attack, you name it, it happened with Dogecoin. But we are looking at some of those higher levels of resistance. So again, if some of you guys are looking for scale out moments across any of the tokens we talk about today, make sure that you guys still have a plan to lock in some profits. It doesn't have to be a lot, especially if you guys are looking to sell a lot of this stuff, after Bitcoin's made all-time highs. But regardless, you always want to be a little bit careful that you're just making sure that you've locked in some profit here, just some, so oh yeah, I can physically, or I can actually have realized gains, because without realized gains, you're kind of just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. All right, let's kind of zoom back in here a little bit more. We'll talk about some of these tokens a little bit more in depth down the road here, but I do want to just brief overview, go over the news, check out some of the Grayscale data, and then check out some of the portfolios, and then hop back over here to crypto. Ape token still going up. Arbitrum looking like it wants to break out. I'm really hopeful it can break out, but it's just not there yet. But I'm hopeful for Arbitrum here. AXS already broke out a while ago, and it's still been going up quite a bit. BNB, same story for a lot of different tokens. You're seeing different types of breakouts, but the momentum seems to be carrying them on quite a bit. XRP is on the verge of a breakout. I told you guys I was buying this a few days ago. And what do you know? It's still it's there. It hasn't broken out yet, but I'm trying. I'm like, what did I say this was? This was the dark horse for people that maybe had wanted to buy an altcoin out there that hadn't necessarily had a large move just yet. And I'm not saying, I expect XRP to have a 50 or 100% move, but it's due for something of a larger move here based off of how little it's been able to do so far. And you could even see a little bit of a cup and handle type of dip and rip effect happening here on the daily chart. That's something interesting. Backing up here on the weekly chart with XRP, again, we'll be talking about this a little bit later. We're there. We're at resistance. Can we break out? The MACDs are just turning bullish on the weekly charts. To me, hopefully something good. And we might actually have a golden cross here between the 50-week moving average and the 200, which typically is supposed to be a very, very good thing. It's like one of the most powerful bullish signals you can have when it comes to moving averages. And again, we'll see what that comes up with. But right now, we're there. We're at that resistance level here. Bitcoin Cash doing some awesome moves. We don't check out Bitcoin Cash for a while. Looks like we haven't checked it out since November. But again, a lot of the same stuff. Altcoins are having really great times, Bonk included. Chile's still doing fine. AVAX hasn't moved so much in the past few weeks, honestly. It looks like it had a really parabolic move all the way since October, but it's been pretty calm since then. So maybe AVAX might be something you guys are looking at. Otherwise, it's looking at something of a double top, but I'd give it a chance here. Comp still moving higher. It looks like it's been consolidating for the past few days. We saw AI tokens do that for pretty much a whole week here. Crow token just broke out finally. That's looking pretty nice. Anything else here that I really want to talk about? Solana's still moving higher. We talked about that breakout, getting rejected a little bit or just facing the resistance level of the Fibonacci's. That's nothing surprising. EOS is moving higher. GTC is also moving higher here, so that's nice play. And to finish it off, again, we'll be talking about some of these other things later on. Spell token, still doing well. STMX finally making a move here. Theta, consolidating. Here are some of the AI tokens. NMR, still doing fine up against a resistance level. Fetch AI, oh Jesus, Fetch AI, look at that. This one's going up. Ajax still going up here as well. World token, WLD, it hasn't broken out yet, but it looks like it may have an opportunity over the next few days. I'm watching this one closely. And RNDR is consolidating after having that larger move here. So there's still some moves no matter which sector of the market you're looking at, and that's a very good thing for a lot of you guys out there, because this means that this weekend, when, hopefully you guys don't have to work and, do errands and stuff, you guys can find some good day trading or even 2-day trades in order to, to do and make some money off of them. Okay, now a few things here. First one is from crypto.news. Meme coins thrive in bull market as Bonk, Shibli daily gains. We've already been talking about this for a while. This was, how do I describe this? I feel like when I've talked about Doge and Shiba Inu, and I really haven't talked about Bonk too much besides when it started to really rally. I feel like when I've talked about these for a while, it's been like, hey, I'm disappointed in this rally that they've been trying to do. However, I feel like they're going to go parabolic, or they're going to have some really large moves out of nowhere, and I'm just going to hold until that happens. And that's my personal thesis on it. And so far, it seems like waiting has been the right thing to do, although I think they still have a little bit more to go here. So we see meme coins Shiba Inu and Bonk have rallied thanks to recent run that has seen the two coins notch over 30% gains within the last week. The crypto market has entered a long-awaited bull market, with Bitcoin and Ethereum reaching prices not seen since December of 2021. Isn't that great? The overall crypto market cap has reached $2.4 trillion for the first time since the FTX crash. However, the top meme coins have returned the most gains in this rallying market. Now, this is something where I'm like, I don't know about that, because I've seen a lot of tokens do a lot better than Dogecoin, but I think because Dogecoin's been doing so well since I think the news is saying that the bull market started like last week or something, or like last month. I feel like that's how the news is characterizing this, and I don't think that's true. I think the bull market really started back off at least when we had that golden cross between the 20-week and 50-week moving average. I think it was like a year ago, back in March, a couple months, it could have been actually in February or January. It was before the banking crisis that we had due to the high inflation and the rising rates and things like that. So I think they're saying the bull market literally just started maybe when we started to have that acceleration off of that breakout in November or December. I think that's what the news is trying to go for. But I think we've all kind of felt like things were doing okay since then. So, that's a little disconnect right there. However, it looks like more and more articles are being talked about. How to say this? Those articles are focusing on meme coins and some of those rare big booms. And those type of articles, I think, draw in lots of eyes from the outside of those people who maybe trade penny stocks or trade options, and they want to make a lot of money fast. Some of that money will start to flow into the crypto markets here. And that brings me to this next part here. Grayscale GBTC selling accelerates, but Bitcoin ETF inflows remain positive, led by BlackRock. So right now, I believe Grayscale owns the most Bitcoin out of all the ETF holders, but they own so much that they're not getting enough business, I guess, from it, and they're just selling it off. So they saw nearly $600 million in outflows Thursday, its largest single day redemption since January 2022, but inflows into another spot into other spot Bitcoin ETFs offset the sales. So we're not going to go and read throughout the article. What I wanted to show you guys was this right here. And to do that, I'm just going to go over to my Arkham account, and I'm just going to zoom into this here. And so from here, I know it's a little bit jumbled. Trust me, I understand this. But you can see Grayscale over here, BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK Invest, Invesco, Bitwise, VanEck, Valkyrie, Franklin, Templeton, and Wisdom Tree. So what do we have? Grayscale. Look at that Bitcoin volume right here. 27,332, 470, 826. And you can see right here, Grayscale has like over 3 times the amount of Bitcoin as BlackRock does. So Grayscale is holding a lot. However, when you go click on their name right here, in my case, I'm just going to open up a new tab. What you'll see on the bottom right-hand corner is that they're selling large amounts of Bitcoin here. Oh, there it goes. I'm like, where the heck was it? What is that? Okay. And so you can see everything about them. Holdings by chain, portfolio archive. All right, so they own Bitcoin, Ethereum, Uniswap, Link, BAT, LPT, Aave. You know, they're holding a lot of stuff. Why do they own Swapped Doge? I don't know, but they own a lot of stuff here. Okay, not a crazy amount, but a pretty decent amount. They even own Comp. No holdings, no zero Comp. I guess they got rid of it. Damn it. Anything else that they really own? 2.5K water, not really worth a lot. They own anything of value? No, they don't really own. They own small amounts of it, and by small amounts I mean pennies. I think a meaningful would be 200,000, and that goes from Matic. So Matic, MKR, that one's not bad. AVAX, Aave, LPT, BAT, Link. So I think they do hold a little bit, not a lot. Again, you know, once it goes from like Uni, which is 3 million, straight up to like 10 billion with Ethereum, then 27 billion when it comes to Bitcoin. However, this is what I wanted to show you. This little thing, or can I show the whole thing here? Let me hide this. Oh, I don't want to copy it. I just want to make this into full screen, but I can't. There we go. Okay. So you can see all throughout today how many Bitcoin they're selling. So they sold 1,000 Bitcoin, 800 Bitcoin, 690 Bitcoin, 800 Bitcoin, 810 Bitcoin. They're selling a lot of Bitcoin right now. And this was all over the past, 17 hours? All of this Bitcoin was being sold. However, you might have noticed that Bitcoin's doing just fine. Go over here to the next page. They got different transactions here. Coinbase, lots of Coinbase stuff. Oh, they had to buy a little bit here. That's interesting right here. Selling off some right there. And then, let me go back over here to this other page. Oh, I don't have to zoom in every single time. So you look at something like a BlackRock, and I know it's a little bit harder to see, but you guys can see all that green. They're buying everything. They're just buying more and more and more and more and more. So there's still so much buying going on that that maybe Grayscale, because their fees a little bit higher, they're just not getting the business. And all the business is going to BlackRock because they're being forced to buy lots. And I'm talking about within one day, I mean, they're buying thousands and thousands of Bitcoin, which is like hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin being bought just by BlackRock alone. And let me go back over here to Fidelity. Fidelity doesn't have to buy as much because, again, not as much inflows, but they're buying 700 Bitcoin, 600 Bitcoin, 900 Bitcoin, and so forth. It'll kind of balance out, kind of ebb and flow. But the fact that they're having so much, they sold 1,000, 1,000, 500, 500. Then all of a sudden, they're buying 300, 700, 700, 300, whatever. There's a lot of Bitcoin still being bought right now, which is just absolutely making the chance for another rally here very, very nice. So that being said, was there any type of articles I wanted to talk to you guys about here? Oh no, there was just meme coin rally, altcoin stuff. We already know what's going on here. It's nice to see that more articles are coming out about Dogecoin, about Shiba Inu, and so forth. But everybody is getting very, very excited about a potential meme coin rally here. And those meme coins, I mean, there are so many meme coins these days. Everybody's kind of waiting. Pick one, choose one. You're probably going to see a nice little return on that investment here. So anyway, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pop Bitcoin on the 15-minute chart where we're kind of waiting for it to consolidate a little bit more. I'm going to light up a cigar, and this is going to be the De Rafael Gonzalez Habano. So nice little Cuban. I don't know where my There my thing is. Do a little clip on the top here. There you go. Oh yeah, it smells like cinnamon graham cracker. Because this is a Cuban and I want to treat it properly, I'm going to get my cedar wood out, light my cedar wood, and then light the cigar with the cedar wood. Not something I typically do because I have my jet lighter right back here now. There we go. There you go. And it's a tasty one. All right, let's see if I lit this one properly. We'll see in a few minutes here. And hey, Trav, you bought some spell token? I bought some spell token such a long time ago, and I'm so happy it finally did something because, honestly, when I bought spell token, the last time I bought it, I was like, I don't know if this thing's actually going to ever go up. It might just stay dead. Because if you go over here to spell token, what are you looking at? Let me see. Spell. Look at this weekly chart. It was pretty dead for a while. So I'm happy to see it started to get some life. And you see how fast these things can go. Again, this market cap is still extraordinarily small, so it's not like, we're talking about $1 billion market cap. This is like, $100 million market cap. But it's nice to see that it still found some way to get some strength here. And it's heading up to that next level of resistance, which still has a little bit of room to give it. Which still gives a little bit extra room. And hey, Veronica, tag Sheeb. What do you call, I don't know how to tag Sheeb at all, but what do you call, Shiba Inu is still doing very well. If you want me to talk about it, let me know. Bitcoin started selling in Brazil officially today. I saw that. That opens up more opportunities. The more ETFs that come out overall, I think that's going to be a good sign for crypto because that means their institutional investors will start pouring money into it. That means more Bitcoin being bought by them. I wasn't anticipating large swaths of the world going into the ETF market as fast as America because, our capitalistic system allows for companies to really go hard at institutions. So I'm almost wondering if Europe will allow maybe just Bitcoin. I don't know if they'll allow Ethereum so fast, but just Bitcoin, or maybe even just the UK because they're outside of the EU regulatory framework. Maybe they'll allow Bitcoin. I would be very happy with that. I'm not holding my breath for China, but maybe that could be kind of cool. Maybe I'd be happy with that. And hey, Kilo, thank you very much for the super chat, my man. Thanks for lending an ear, so to speak, earlier. I appreciate it. Let's have some fun. Oh, no worries, Kilo. You've been here for a long time. I trust I trust you, man. And hopefully you guys have something good for you guys going on your Friday night, whether it's a nice glass of beer. I was going to have some beer, and then I realized I'm working. I don't want to be buzzed while I'm, I guess more than tobacco-y buzz. All my beer is not in my refrigerator. It's all on my countertops with my whiskeys and stuff. I got tea, though. Tea is very good. It's hydrating. And hey, call SHIP. Yeah, let me see. I haven't looked at, I don't even know what SHIP is, actually. Have you ever talked about SHIP? Okay, there's no actual SHIP token on here, so let me go over here to coinmarketcap.com and see what I can find there. Maybe it's something of a smaller market cap. Oh, there's a couple, and the prices aren't tracked. So there's not really much I can do about them, but if you want me to check out the project, let me know what the name of it is, and I can try to look up the project itself, but I don't know anything about the technicals because this isn't they're not there just yet. You guys want me to check out Shiba Inu? Holy shit, that hurt my ears. I got my sound on too high. It's like a water droplet sound when somebody donates money or somebody follows a stream, and then all of a sudden just got whacked with an earful of it. Sheep. There we go. All right. So right now, like a lot of tokens that we've been talking about, they are just now going kind of parabolic here. We're seeing some really nice moves. Shiba Inu is actually outpacing Dogecoin right now because Dogecoin hasn't broken out above some of those previous levels. The difference is Dogecoin had that really weird abnormal parabolic move because of what Elon did with buying Twitter and turning it into X, right? So right now, Shiba Inu just tapped basically on that huge order block that you see, and ever since then, it did come back down just a little bit. So just so you guys know, that resistance level of 2220, that's something that you guys should be very closely watching. This is a very large scale out level for a lot of people out there. Whether you're day traders and swing traders, you're just going to see a lot of people shrink their portfolio just a little bit in order to how do I say this nicely? Lock in those profits and wait for the next level of the rally to go on. Now, that next level of resistance that we're looking at seems to be all the way back up here to a bunch of zeros and then 2994. That's the next level if we're going to have a move with Bitcoin going up towards $69,000. That's where Shiba Inu should be heading there. I don't know if it'll break out above that, but there's a good chance based off of how far it's moved so far today. But let's dig down into it just a little bit more here because now that I've kind of showed you everything else going on, actually, let me do this just to make things a little bit easier. Let's open up a couple horizontal lines here. One right there and one right here. Okay. Let's go to the daily chart. That order block's not going to be there. And what I want to do is I want to open up 2 Fibonacci extension levels here just to show you the 2 options that you have. Okay. So this is the first one right here. This one matches up with that level. I don't know why this is actually, it should not be extend lines left. There you go. Makes it a little bit easier to see the lines. Hey, we did just hit up here to the 2.618 level. That matches up perfectly. There's a pretty good reason why we got smacked back down. And you're seeing right now, we are getting smacked back down. We are looking to consolidate a little bit longer. After this consolidation, you should most likely see us going up a little bit higher. That's the cue here. Basically, in order for this to happen, though, we do want to see Bitcoin not break down and have a move, below $60,000. That's something in the back of your mind for all the altcoins we talk about. That's what you guys want to be focusing on right now. Now, for SHIB, it's still moving up much higher. I'm going to take off this Fibonacci level right here, but I want you guys to understand there are multiple levels of resistance here, so it's not going to necessarily be something that's very easy. And you can see this already so far. Basically it came up to test it. Nope, got knocked back down. Not because of anything necessarily bad. It's just because you're going to see a lot of people taking profit because this is a massive level to take profit at. Backing back up again one more time here with Shiba Inu. Instead of going all the way back over here to the low, high, low, we're just going to go to low, high, low and put on a more recent Fibonacci level and see where that takes us. Anything new here? No, they pretty much match up on spot. Got a little bit of resistance right here just for the day, and now we're pumping up again. How is this on the 4-hour chart? A little bit there, pop broke out a little bit, got smacked back down to support, a little bit there. Yeah, you're looking at resistance levels basically up here on 2224, which we've already kind of got rejected from, and it's just trying to consolidate. After that, you have a pretty straight shot up here towards 0.0003008. So those are your levels of resistance right now. I would not bank on it getting above this anytime soon unless Bitcoin really wants to go parabolic in a heartbeat. If that's the case, then things get a little bit more choppy where it might have to consolidate for a couple weeks before it makes that larger move up because, again, it's going to try to go from here straight up towards these all-time highs. And of course, can it happen? Yes, we've seen it happen plenty of times before. Well, we saw it happen once before, and we were live during that time too. But make sure that during this process, you're able to lock in profits. Because just like what happened back in here, back in the day, when I was streaming and I told you guys that I was buying down here, I think it was in September. No, July. Yeah, when I told you guys I was buying over here in July, I told you guys it might take a little bit of time to see some better moves here. Because Bitcoin was doing a lot better than this Shiba Inu chart back in July. So I was like, okay, you're going to wait, but you guys have to scale it because if you guys scaled out anywhere in here or even over here, give it a few months, a few months later, you're like, oh man, I wish I could have sold over here. I really wish I could have sold over here. oh shit, I really wish I could have sold over here. Just, you don't have to sell everything, but it's okay to lock in the profits because we never know how long these rallies are going to be. And you guys have to be safe and responsible with the way you guys are making money. Remember, one of the reasons that we've been buying this for so long and dollar cost averaging and dealing with all this crap when it comes to people saying, oh, crypto's going to zero, listen to the Kramer all the time on CNBC and all that bullshit, it's because we knew that this cycle repeats itself over and over and over again, and they are proven wrong over and over and over again. But we have to have the patience to endure all of that in order to make good amounts of money. Going back over here to that Fairdesk account, remember, just a couple months ago, this thing was down $900. Now, all of a sudden, we're up $6,300. It works out, but you guys have to be patient. Now, I think I got pretty lucky because I went heavier on certain tokens than others. But at this point in time, I know I'm not going to try to show you like in detail everything because I've already done that plenty of times. But see all that green? See all that green? There's one thing that's red, and that's YGG. And I just bought that literally yesterday. Literally yesterday. Okay? And I think that thing already popped up a little bit, so I think I bought something that was on the move. Yeah, I bought something way up high because I'm just, you know what? I'm just going to get a little bit of a sweetener in there, and it'll keep on going up down the road. That's my goal here. And so, you know, I'll look back on it in a few months, and I'll be like, okay, we're much higher. The profit from that one's not going to be as high as, you know, my Ajax or something like that, but still. Everything, I'm still buying into stuff. Regardless of the price, I'm still buying into a lot of stuff here. And I got a whopping total of 48 different tokens out here that are looking pretty good. Yeah, but right now, Shiba Inu is doing very, very good. It's having a really good rally, but you guys have to make sure you're able to lock in a little bit of profit out there. Even Bitcoin Cash right now is still having a very large move. Look at that. It's making everything look freaking tiny here, which is kind of annoying, but I don't know. It's the move we all want to see with any of our tokens. And hey, Jay Perez, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Hey, Mike, what's the best place to dollar cost average Bitcoin or crypto in general? Is Robinhood reliable and safe for those newer to crypto? I would say Robinhood's fine. Coinbase is fine. Crypto.com is fine. So typically there's two ways I think of doing dollar cost averaging these days. For beginners, that's a good score. All right. As far as beginners are concerned, my phone over here. There we go. All right. So as far as beginners are concerned, I have a few different thoughts. If you guys are trying to make more money and you guys are willing to do a little bit of risk, but you feel like you can trust yourself with more risk management responsibility, I would say you can go to like another exchange like a Fairdesk or a BYDFi or a Binance or a KuCoin type of exchange out there. Those are fine if you're going to do like a 2x leverage long portfolio, which you're going to be holding for a very long time, but you're also paying fees for all of the long leverage positions you have. Besides that, most people, I would say, when they're first starting off with crypto and they're very brand new, Crypto.com, Coinbase, and what's the other one over there? Maybe Kraken, things like that. Those are pretty well. But the problem is, sometimes they have issues with the servers going up and down. I would say like with Coinbase, I still think it's overall pretty fine. I don't really care about it too much. It's good. But those are usually where I'd say, hey, if you're new to crypto and you want to get in, those are good places. And on top of that, if you guys go over to any of these sites, like crypto.com or whatever, they tend to have a lot of different altcoins for you to buy and the hundreds, and that gives you more opportunities, especially when the Bitcoin market does come back down and everything's crashing and burning. Remember, the level that we use is, I think I gave you two. It's either going to be the 150, let's see. Well, here, I'm not going to change, I'll just leave it there. You can use the 150 week moving average, or you guys can use the 100 weekly moving average. Whenever Bitcoin is below the 100 weekly moving average or the 150 week moving average like this, you guys are buying on Coinbase, Kraken, wherever you guys want to buy them at. You guys are loading up on coins and hoping for the best that when it does eventually break out, you're going much higher. That's one of the ways right there. It worked over here during COVID. It worked over here during the crash in the crypto winter of 2018. And it might have worked down here if we had a 150 week moving average there. But so far, this is a pretty good level. The interesting thing about this 150 week moving average, though, is we're kind of steady right now. You know, back in the day, this thing would consistently be moving higher and higher and higher. because of the severity of the crash that we saw in such a short amount of time based off of the Sam Bankman-Fried and all the exchange crashes, it's kind of flat. So you may see this thing continue to pick up, but we're not going to be back underneath this for a very long time. So if you're looking for like a very, very long-term portfolio where it's like a decade plus, you don't really have to worry too much about when you buy, but you're going to be buying more heavily during these points in time when we're below that 150-week moving average. But from an exchange perspective, back over here to Bitcoin. From an exchange perspective, usually Robinhood's okay, Coinbase is fine, Crypto.com is fine. I hesitate to say Robinhood specifically because Robinhood doesn't really have a large selection of, doesn't have a large selection of crypto tokens. That's what I really don't like about Robinhood. I think it's like a safe. I think it's fine. I don't like the CEO, as you guys might know, but it's just, I think you can buy less than 10 tokens or 15 tokens. Whereas if you go to Crypto.com or Coinbase, you got hundreds of tokens. Like maybe I can find them here. Bitcoin, easy. Markets, Coinbase Exchange. And you can choose spot. Look at all these tokens that you have. Load more. You got options. You got options, and it keeps on going on and on and on. You got plenty of options. When it comes to Robinhood, I don't even know if Robinhood is actually on here. Spot exchange hood. I don't even see it. I don't even see it. Don't even see it. So yeah, I would say, it's not my cup of tea. Do you think it's smart to put money in Shiba now, or do you think it can hit a penny and also Ethereum? I don't think Shiba is going to hit a penny anytime soon. That would take a lot of money. That would take a parabolic. That's not something I would expect to happen, especially since it's already starting off from a pretty large market cap. If I go over here to the weekly chart, a penny for Shiba Inu. That would be another 52,000% profit. And with a market cap that's already pretty high, above $1 billion, I don't see something like that happening anytime soon, or I don't even know, ever, maybe. However, as far as buying it right now, I would not be buying Shiba Inu right now unless you may be looking for something of a breakout. So, we have a breakout right now. It's moving higher. Let me get rid of all these lines and stuff. You can see that level of resistance right here for Shiba Inu. Everything's good. It's already pumped up though, so it's going to be hard to say, hey, let's buy after it's already had a large move. If you want to do something like that, you're going to be turning it into something more of a day trade or even a shorter term swing trade here. And this is what you'd be looking for. You'd be looking for some type of breakout here or break of structure like this on a 4-hour chart or a 2-hour chart or a 1-hour chart. Something that says, hey, we've consolidated a little bit and we've broken out, and then you want to buy here. And then you see there's that resistance level, you're going to be selling up there. So you're not going to be holding for days and days and days and days. You're going to be holding for maybe like 2 days or something like that. You're not going to be holding for too much longer. On the 1-hour chart, we had to change a character right here if you wanted to go there. Had another one right here for this larger move. Those were the buying signals here for you to buy right here. And then, of course, you could sell up here at that larger level of resistance. But right now, it's already moved. It's like buying right here and then waiting and waiting and waiting for that next move to happen. Except for if you buy right here, you really don't know if it's going to continue to drop all the way back down here or if it's going to go back up in a short amount of time. So you got to be very, very careful about how you want to approach Shiba Inu right now. It's already pumped up a lot. Same with Dogecoin here. They've already pumped up so much that you got to be careful. These breakouts that occur, they're good signs for you to buy and trade. However, if you're buying right now, it often leads to more consolidation, which means you're worrying for most of the time instead of just buying and watching it continue to go up or, the momentum keep it going up. There you go. And it looks like Bitcoin's still consolidating here just a tad. Coinbase has earn rewards for small amounts of crypto, but you learn what different coins do. I think I actually have seen that. I think I have seen that on their app before. I haven't used Coinbase for like trading in quite a bit of time, but I do like that because I think when you trade and you learn off of them, you get like a small amount. You get like a tiny amount of crypto. But you know what? If you want to do those types of things, do them in a bear market when they're worth nothing, because at least when the market goes back up, they'll be worth something. That's the way I would think about it. Anyway, Walter. Hey, Mike, sorry, I know you may have covered this. If Shiba were to go down, what would be a good level to buy? That's going to be a little bit more tricky here just because of how far it's moved up. Typically, if it's moved up quite a bit, you can expect it to crash quite a bit there as well. Let's go back over here to the weekly chart. It'd be right here at this previous breakout that we just experienced, around a few zeros and then 1792. That'd be the level it would try to go back down to. I would say if Bitcoin really does go back into like a pretty like significant pullback, then you're looking at something a little bit different where it goes back to 1570. Instead of using the numbers here, I would just try to see this support level and support level over here, back from the highs we got back in August of 2022, and over here from the highs we got in January of 2023. That's how I'd be looking at it right now. Just like how if Bitcoin were to pull back at this point and Bitcoin was looking at something nasty, we would be coming back down to here, right down towards $50,000, maybe even $52,000 perhaps. We got enough support. I mean, we got 59,000. Yeah, I would say 59,000 is Bitcoin's next level of support, but if we start breaking down below that, then it's a pretty clean shot all the way back down towards $55,000. And I don't think anybody wants that. But yeah, for these tokens that are having these really large moves, they're going to be coming down quite a bit, but that just means like they could still come down quite a bit and still have a very good consolidation. I think a good example of this actually is what we've been seeing with the altcoins out there, or maybe Ajax. So Ajax had this really crazy run from about 28 cents all the way up here to 87. 27 to 87, that is absolutely insane. However, during this little bit of a consolidation point, it did manage to fall down quite a bit, all the way down here, 21% from the top of the body right here, all the way back to 60 cents. But you see, that was a little bit of a consolidation point right there. That's the support. So if it kept on going up and this larger candle was much higher, it would still probably have a really crazy crash that would come back down to that support level. So that's going to be the same for a lot of different coins out there. And Shiba Inu is definitely one of those tokens where it's come up a lot in a short amount of time. So if it does eventually have a move down here, you would actually see a good buying opportunity around those levels. And just like with Bitcoin right now, remember, Bitcoin's good right now. We have all the momentum in the world. We're just consolidating at this point in time, and we're looking for that next leg up. But what you guys are focusing on right now, which kind of, what shows you what's about to happen here, is you can see on the daily chart right here for Bitcoin versus Tether, we have lower highs and higher lows. So what that means is, that. So we have that pennant right there. And that pennant is what Bitcoin is trying to break out above right now. I'm zoomed in, so it's not going to look kind of fluid like a line. See how those little bumps? Hopefully we're making a move up here. If we flag back down, to me, that would lead to a pretty bad weekend for a lot of people. And I know it would be bad for some if they have open positions. But if you're looking for a buying opportunity, that would be it right there. If we were to break back down, we'd have a little bit of support around here around 57,000. Really, the largest support level is all the way back down here around 52. But because of some of those old resistance levels from way back during the last bull market, I think we have a pit stop there around 55 where we could just have a dip, which is basically like a shake off level, and then all of a sudden just start ripping off again. And, we basically just piss off everybody. Because again, what typically happens is people right now are saying, I want to have a buying opportunity. Where can I buy? Where can I buy? Where can I buy? And I'll give you guys different zones. Like, right now there's a buying opportunity. If we just dip right here, there's another one right here, and there's a large one way down here at $52,000. Well, maybe we don't hit down here to go up higher. Maybe we just hit right here, but people wanted to buy down here, and so they're mad because they missed out on the opportunity before it really starts to go ricocheting back up to these new highs and all that crazy stuff we're we're expecting. But the way to kind of beat that a little bit here is to just say, hey, even if we come down a little bit, I'll open myself up to a little bit of exposure. And if we're lucky enough for it to come back down to 55,000, 52,000, which is a little bit more difficult, obviously, if we're lucky enough, then I will put more money in there. So I'm like, if we dip down tonight or tomorrow or whatever it may be, I will buy more Bitcoin. I will also buy more altcoins here. But, you know, to be frank, we're just kind of on a tear right now. So we're basically waiting for the next 8 hours or so. If I go over here to maybe the 2-hour chart, right? We almost broke out right here. We weren't able to hold it. We're consolidating a little bit more, and we're just holding on and hoping that we can have such a larger move coming up pretty soon. The faster this move happens, the better. But typically when we're looking at these, I do want to stress, we typically want to consolidate for a little bit longer. So I'm not going to be mad if we even, like I said before, if we come down, we do make a new low and we come back up and we come down a little bit more. I'm not going to be mad at this necessarily. It's going to make things maybe a little bit more scary, I guess, for the average trader out there. But again, these really, there we go. These really good moves that we've seen, this consolidation lasted for about 11 days. And on the 12th day, Bitcoin arose to break out. Okay. It took a little bit of time. I don't necessarily want to have a quick breakout. That quick breakout to me would suggest that we'd come back up towards 68, 69,000 bucks, but then that would get smacked right back down because the consolidation wasn't enough to build a good buyer's base there. Same with this one. We held on for a little bit of time and then we had a larger move. Held on for a little bit of time, a little bit more shaky, of course, but we managed to actually have that larger move. Same concept here. I want to see that larger move. This was all spot Bitcoin ETF nonsense, but still, even after this, we still managed to make a move, even though we got knocked back down. Again, we didn't just go straight up. We had to consolidate for a little bit. These consolidation points are very, very crucial, even for altcoins, which is why I was buying some of those AI tokens, because those AI tokens right now, they're consolidating right now. Now, some are consolidating like RNDR and WLD. Others are just trying to break out of that just today. Same with Fetch AI, consolidate for a little bit of time, and then boom. So, you know, depends on the coins you're watching. Some, of course, are breaking out right now. Like Matic right now is consolidating and trying to make this larger breakout right there. EOS, I mean, this one didn't even try to consolidate. It got whiplashed too much. It went all the way up to 88 cents. And the same day, it went back down to like 78. Oh, my God. But right now, it's breaking out, you know. Ethereum Classic, a little bit of consolidation right here, breaking out. Even Filecoin here, that's an ugly breakout. Yeah, a little bit of resistance, got knocked down. But even there, you're seeing a smaller breakout. This is much more for day trading. But again, you had a breakout. You saw the move it did. Came up to resistance levels, and you're able to sell it right there for a nice little day trip. You're going to be looking at that quite a bit. Ooh, this Cuban smoke is hitting a little bit different. All right, okie dokie. There we go. All right. And hey, Desert Geek, I appreciate the 5th super chat. I appreciate it. I like how YouTube's letting me know this type of stuff. Your thoughts on a long position for EOS? Let me see. And then itty bitty, I'll go right to you. I mean, the long position's already been off. It's already gone. Let's see. So you're trying to catch up to a move that's already happening, and that's not impossible right now. First of all, just to make it easier, I would add a Fibonacci extension on here. We add the magnet though. All right, so I just want to make sure you know that those next levels of resistance are going to be around $1.03 and around $1.27. If you're looking to hold this for a longer period of time, the $1.27 is definitely going to be the move to make. That would probably be happening sometime next week. I wouldn't expect it to come this week. And so you might be looking for a better opportunity to buy into this. But again, let's talk about our options here. So $1.27. Let's add on a level of resistance right there on the screen so I can take off the Fibonacci level. Come back down here. Didn't I just take that off? Okay, there we go, yeah. All right. So we do have a little momentum there. Everything is still looking green. We had a break structure yesterday. That would be the last opportunity to buy besides this change of character down here. If you want to buy right now, which is going to be a little more risky, you're going to be using this previous break structure as your level of support. And so that means if you're buying around 96.50 right here, your support level or your stop loss level is going to be around 91 cents. It looks like it's like 91.20, but I'd give it a little bit more wiggle room, just, you know, that little tenth of a penny basically. I'd use that as my support level here, just in case Bitcoin does take a drop down later on today. And let me see. You have a few levels of resistance kind of beating you up here, kind of around $1.05 and so forth. But for me, that kind of matches up with the Fibonacci level of $1.03. To me, that's not even a scale out level. I'd be holding this for maybe a week or two to see if it can get all the way back up here. If you're looking at maybe something as far as a day trade, no, you're not going to do a day trade it now. It's already moving. You can't hop onto this. I mean, you're going to have to wait for something to consolidate, a pattern to emerge, and then a breakout with the momentum following that in order to hop on here. The 15-minute chart, I mean, it tried to do that, but I mean, 5-minute chart, look at this. It wasn't even a great consolidation because it kept on making these new little highs here that eventually popped up. So I wouldn't try to day trade this right now. I would really just hope that this thing can come back down and give you a better opportunity for actual breakout. If you're holding this already, you don't have to do anything really until it starts hitting $1.05. Then I would do my first scale out, and then the primary scale outs would happen well above $1.10 here. You know, once you get towards $1.20 and so forth, you're getting greedy. But that's what the technicals say. You should be looking at a stop. You know, I'm hoping that it continues to go up, but it probably looks like it would need to consolidate a little bit this week after this kind of big rally. You can buy during that consolidation and push forward next week for some larger moves. And, you know, again, next week starts in just a few days, so it's not like it's too far away here. There we go. And then itty bitty, let me go up to your message here. Check out XRP chart. I know we were just talking about this at the beginning of the stream. There we go. So for all of you guys that haven't been watching, XRP is my dark horse candidate for a good swing trade here. I bought some a few days ago. It looks like it just started to take off here. This tastes like I've never had a Cuban like this before. It's interesting. But we haven't broken out yet. We're on the verge of it. It's looking very, very good. The reason it's a dark horse is because it really hasn't done much over the past few years. And now that we're finally looking at a very large consolidation. And when I say large consolidation, we're talking about 231 days of consolidating. This should be a pretty large move. Now, those next levels of resistance, I know we've talked about them before, but let me just bring these back up just in case you guys don't have them on your charts. This is a swing trade. This is not a day trade. A swing trade, if we manage to break out, I'm looking to scale out a little bit at 72 cents. The Fibonacci level is at 72.78. I'm going to be scaling out a little bit before that, just in case. And then all the way up here towards 80 cents. Then eventually I'm going to skip this level over here around 87 because I'm greedy. And then I'm going to be hoping for 98 all the way up here to $1.13. This should happen over a period of maybe a month or two. I expect this to have a very quick and rapid move. We've seen it happen before around the same market cap, so I don't see any problem of why it shouldn't be able to happen again. But right now we're on the verge of seeing that move. It might happen today, it might happen next week, but right now you can see we're pushing through a smaller breakout right here, actually with the breakout structure, and we are actually trying to break out. We've just started a new day today, itty bitty. We're not going to know for sure if this is going to close above it until another 22 hours goes by. So keep track of it. If you want to buy right now, you can. I already bought a few days ago just so I don't have to really worry about this stuff. But what do you call? You know, you could wait for the confirmation or you can buy now. If you're looking for a stop loss, that stop loss is basically going to be down here on 52 cents, which is a pretty drastic stop loss. However, if you were to do a long on this here, maybe I can show you this. There we go. and let's just say we're going up to this level right here, your ratio is going to be around 2, which is fine. And the ultimate ratio, which I'd be thinking about up here, is going to be like, 5.24, that longer breakout swing. It's a pretty good ratio to be betting for at this point. So I like it. It looks like it has the momentum it needs. And on the weekly chart here, MACD is about to go positive. The stochastic is positive, and the RSI is positive. And all of this is happening while we're seeing a breakout, which makes me a lot more envious because historically, last time we had everything pointing positive with a little bit of a change of character right here, the move only lasted for 1, 2, 3, and I guess technically 4 weeks. So it lasted a month. This time with a proper breakout, this thing could last for a couple months at least here. And that's where you could see some of those larger moves above $1, above $1.20, maybe even going up towards all-time highs. But that's more of an altcoin season talk, which we'll be talking about a little bit later here. But yeah, right now, definitely in a good mood, definitely making some higher moves here. Just like Ethereum, a lot of stuff's been consolidating. If it can break out, we're still looking pretty strong. Even here with let's go to the 4-hour chart with Ethereum. A little bit of weakness, but I'm hoping we can continue to see some of these breakouts. And Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin looks like it wants to consolidate a little bit more. I'm looking to see what the momentum can bring us. We'll know over the next 8 hours, it looks like. But it looks like Bitcoin's going to try to consolidate just a tad bit more. Not a devastating consolidation, not a consolidation where you're going to be panicking or whatnot. Well, no, some people may panic. But I'm watching it closely. We may have another drop back down towards $59,000 or so. So I'll keep an eye on that one for you guys for the next couple days. I know I'm going to be streaming midday tomorrow for you, but I have to go to dinner with my grandparents in the evening. We're going out somewhere downtown, and so I won't be able to stream at night. Basically, I will be streaming. No, I won't be streaming on Sunday. I'll be taking the day off Sunday unless something really crazy happens. But basically, if something crazy happens on Sunday, I will be going live. Hey, the Diamond Life winning either way it goes. It all depends on how long you want to hold it. I say Pepe, will there be a rug pull at some point? Mark my words. Pepe is one of those older meme tokens that's like not as old as Dogecoin, but it's been around for a while. There's been a lot of stuff been talked about it. It definitely has a lot of stuff going for it. But with any meme token out, you really have to be careful with how long you want to hold it, and if you guys want to have stop losses and trades on it. I would say, just like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu back in 2021, there is going to be a point in time where a lot of these tokens take really massive drops in a very short amount of time. And whenever that starts to happen, all you guys got to do is scale out just a little bit and make sure you're managing your risk, and that'll go a long way to helping you guys out. Because remember, I talk about Dogecoin all the time because my channel was built on Dogecoin back in 2020, 2021. As Dogecoin was going up, and you can put this to any other token, you have to make sure you have these levels where you want to lock in some profits. And you have to be willing to move up some of your stop losses in case things get a little wild. Because I do want to just remind you again, you will see tokens continue to make these wild moves. But as tokens make these wild moves, remember what we just talked about here actually as far as Bitcoin was concerned? As we see these large and wild moves happening with cryptocurrencies, let me just go here. Okay. As these moves happen, we'll go higher, right? Oh, no, that's probably not the best way to do it. We'll go higher and so forth. But often what happens in these larger moves is if we came over here, we may see something of a flash crash that brings us right back here at the support level, and then we start to bounce back up. But if there's not much support from here to here to here to here, because we're just moving so fast, if we have a flash crash, it comes all the way back down, and then it starts going back up. And people really get scared about these moves. And so, if you don't want to have to worry about a stop loss during this, you just have to still be aware of what Bitcoin is doing as far as the rest of the market. Because if Bitcoin still looks strong, it hasn't had any of those scary signs yet, you're still fine. But it's okay to try to scale out at least during some of these levels. I think Dogecoin is just, history repeats itself type of thing. Let me go back over here with Dogecoin. Let me get rid of the simple moving average. And let's just, oh, for heaven's sakes, there you go, pointer. Can I show this maybe on the... No, it should be fine. You'll see how we broke out. We came back down towards support closer over here. Came back up here. I'm guessing there was some type of support over here. I'm not entirely sure. But basically, you know, after a while, we come back down, came screaming back up. And then when we do have some of these drops, they tend to come back down to these support levels here. And that's the big thing you guys have to understand. Because these swings, they don't look like a lot. But if you bought up here, that's a 75% drop. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. But that's a 75% drop in a matter of a day. In the matter of a day. So, you know, just understand how fast these things can come down. And you guys want to just be aware of what's going on. For me, you know, just make an alert. You know, right click on Trading View. Hey, add, where's it at? Add alert on Doge at point whatever. You can set up those alerts. It's very, very easy. No matter where you guys are at, I'm sure all of you guys' exchanges these days, they have an app. You can go straight over to your app and you can be like, hey, everybody, or like, hey, exchange, I want to do a quick sell-off on Dogecoin, quick sell-off on Bitcoin, whatever it may be, and then just, you know, get it over with. It's fine, you know? But I don't think we've necessarily hit those crazy parabolic moves just yet, but we are getting closer. And which kind of spooks me because typically these rallies, like I said before, they normally don't last that long. You know, when we look at a Bitcoin bull market, it's not like the Bitcoin bull markets last for years. They last for a little bit of time. Everything goes parabolic. We get our money and we get out. And then we start to buy back in pretty rapidly. And then we kind of do our day trading and our swing trading there because there's still lots of opportunities to short Bitcoin on the way back down. Like, you know, I shorted Bitcoin down heavily when the 50-day moving average crossed, the 20-week moving average crossed down below the 50-week moving average. I shorted Bitcoin like crazy. Ooh, it tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Damn, this is good. But you guys get my point, though. You guys gotta be very careful about how you approach this type of stuff. And hey, Haram, happy to see you. Hey, Crypto Rennie, how about Crow? Crow is one of those volatile ones because it is an exchange token, but people usually really like to buy this thing because they have some really good benefits for, I think, their specific debit cards. So you can get different types of debit cards if you have a certain amount of Crow staked. So right now it's showing a little bit of weakness, but if you zoom out a little bit, you'll see that it just broke out. There was a good opportunity to buy it. It looks like yesterday, but you know, we have a new candle right now. So yesterday would have been the day to buy this. It looks like it's been surging since then. I would not try to catch up to this right now unless it has some type of consolidation and breakout on maybe the 1 hour chart. And it looks like on the 1 hour chart, it's trying to do that right now. So you may have an opportunity to buy it. But if you've already bought into this, you're perfectly fine right now. You're looking at a few levels of resistance, but those levels of resistance should be broken out at bond in maybe next few days. You know, right here, we started the breakout. Tomorrow, we should see this thing continue to climb. I don't think Crow has the largest market cap out there. Let me see. Has to be in the top 100 though, right? Is it not? Maybe I just skipped over it because I scrolled too fast. Yeah, it's number 39. Okay, I was okay. $3 billion market cap, lots of volume still going off of it. It looks to be doing just fine here. What was I gonna check out though? That next level of resistance is basically above about 16 cents. So you got maybe another 3 pennies to go, which is, you know, pretty good. So that's about 28%, 30%. After that, of course, if Bitcoin's not breaking out, it's not going to hit above this. If you wanted to go parabolic, it's definitely going to take Bitcoin at about like $80,000 plus. If you really want to start seeing it go back up towards 34 cents, 50 cents, and all that type of stuff, you're going to have to see Bitcoin at a much higher price than it is right now. Much higher price. So get ready for some consolidation ahead. Hopefully Bitcoin's able to make that move. Because just like I said, you know, right now Bitcoin looks like it wants to consolidate for a little bit longer. I'm watching this very closely, and there's definitely a pennant here. But let's hope that the bulls come in here to buy up a little bit more. Otherwise, we are going to be taking a dip towards, like, you know, $58,000, $59,000. Not bad, but, you know, people are going to freak out nonetheless. Really, it's just another opportunity to buy up some Bitcoin and some other altcoins that you guys might have missed upon. Uh-oh. A cigar went out. Let me do one thing here, guys. There we go. There we go. All right. Hey, Black Cat, happy to see you. LB coins on Binance have rugged and will again. Let's see. I mean, it depends on what you guys call as rug, but yeah, there's a good chance that a lot of tokens will be rugged at the end of this bull run. Hopefully we know how long this bull run's going to last. What are my top 5 altcoins for this cycle? The ones that I'm typically more heavy in at this point, there are things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. Ethereum I'm buying a lot more of right now because I'm hoping that the spot Ethereum ETF causes a really big rally that will take Ethereum well above 5,000 bucks over the next few months. After that, I'm looking at different AI tokens, like a Fetch AI has been pretty nice, and Ajax has been pretty nice. They've rallied up a lot, so it's kind of hard to justify buying even more now, even though I am. Lower market cap AI tokens have been something like an NMR or a WLD, although WLD is now part of the top 100 club, so that one's even moving up a little bit more. Other opportunities, I would say, is you can try to go back to some of the metaverse tokens like a Sand or a Mana. Those are still pretty popular with people out there. Low market cap tokens in the metaverse realm that I've been buying up have been Spell Token. That I did buy up. I won't say I haven't been buying it up recently, but Spell Token. And that's a few right there. I have like over 40 tokens I'm holding right now, but most of them are just off of technical reasons and not necessarily off of fundamental reasons. Like today, let's see what the sectors are looking at. So different sectors right now. So AI tokens are doing pretty well. Advertising tokens are up 10%, even more than AI tokens. And some of those are basic attention token, credit coin, carry is up 54%. It has a very small market cap, but that's typically what's going to be happening here. So if you guys want to go for some of those market caps, you can. I would still be looking around the $200 to $400 million market cap range, or actually, let's just say $200 million to $1 billion market cap range. They can all still have some really good profits, but if you're looking for something that still has the chance of going parabolic, but maybe it still has a very low market cap, you're going to be looking at something that has around a $400 million market cap, maybe max, maybe $500 million. And I know we did this the other day, but we can always do it again. Let's set up some custom filters for us. Price, $1. Market cap, 500 million. Let's just do 400 million. Apply filter. And the number 1 token right now, as far as market cap, is Pixel. Now, this thing looks relatively new if you look at this graph right here, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but I'll keep track of it. Golem, that one's up 60% over the last 90 days. It's up 6% over the last 24 hours. This is something that you guys might want to try to catch up on. But as I look through some of these, you can see consolidation, right? So right here I see SafePal. This one is consolidating. You can see it had to move up, and now it's consolidating off of that old support level. This is the most basic of technical analysis because it's basically a little line chart. However, SafePal is something like, $372 million market cap. I'm sure the project is very good. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I'd have to take a quick peek at it. Security, okay. Learn how we make crypto safer for users here. Choose your SafePal wallet. Okay. So I'd pop in 50 to a couple $100 in this one, maybe even more, and I'd wait to see what happens. Now, I don't know if I can find this on some of the markets I have. Do I have any of these exchanges? No. Regardless, if you have Binance, BitThumb, LBank, BingX, Hotcoin Global, BitGit, KuCoin, Gate.io, you have access to this token if you wanted to buy it. I don't appear to have access to this token right now. Not even on Coinbase, not even on Crow. Yeah, I don't have access to it, so I can't buy it. But maybe you can buy it, and I'll keep track of this. It's at 80 cents basically. I gave it a little. I'm already following it here. So if it does go up to like 85 or 90 cents, I'll do a fat old "I told you so." But right now, you can definitely see over the last day, it's consolidating a little bit more. Definitely consolidating after already having that larger move. But again, that's something that I look for. Audio, this one's still moving up pretty well. It's not consolidating. It was consolidating over here, then had another breakout. You know, it's already moving, but you can try to catch up to it. Anything else? VThor, yeah, that one seems to be moving up a little bit higher. Harmony's already moving. We've already had so many dips. I'm not going to recommend anyone ever trade Terra Classic USD. Flux, it's cooling off, but I wouldn't say buy it. It's something to watch out though. Flux is something to watch. Threshold, no. So many of these things are already taking off today just because Bitcoin's consolidating, right? People is up 17%. Let's see. A lot of this stuff's already ripping right now. Alex Lab, right there. That's one you could do. I don't know if Alex Lab has many markets. Gate.io, BitGo. So not some of the ones I know. It only has 10, it looks like. But maybe you have a Mexi account or a KuCoin account or a Gate.io, Pionex. That might be another one for you to try right there. Doesn't mean you can't make some money, but watch it. Oh yeah, that's typically how it goes. But man, the risk is always like the longer you guys hold, the risk just gets higher and higher and higher. The good thing about all of this is we're all buying right now, but Bitcoin hasn't even reached all-time highs yet, so we're still in a very good spot. Imagine being that guy that buys Bitcoin at $100,000. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy that's selling your crypto to that guy when he wants to buy any crypto out there when Bitcoin's at $100,000. That's the way I view all of this. We're just getting started. Everything is still rocking and rolling. Bitcoin's still fine. We're consolidating right now. But there is going to be a point in time where you guys have to be okay with selling. Now, I got a lot of death threats and stuff the last time I told you guys I was selling different assets. So I'm still going to do it. But I'm not going to be as like open about it. I'm going to be like, hey, I'm selling some off here. I'm selling some off here. off here. I'm not going to be as crazy about it as last time. Because that was like, the whole point of me telling you guys I was selling was like, okay, I bought low, I sold high. Yeah, guys, this is what you guys want to do. Everybody was like fucking golden hands and shit. And I think that's because everybody still had that same mindset from GameStop and AMC. And, you know, people are just still pissed off about it. But this time, for the love of God, make sure you guys lock in profits as we go up. It doesn't even have to be at all-time highs. I think that's what people, they really hope they can get at all-time highs. I mark it as a badge of honor that I managed to sell 50% of my Dogecoin at 50 cents. Because right now, Dogecoin is at 15 cents. That still makes my life a lot easier. Oh, and hey, Kilo, quick peek at XLM at your convenience, please, and thank you. I appreciate that again, Kilo. I know we just talked about XLM, so I'm hoping that technicals are still on that. I didn't accidentally take them off. There we go. Well, it's heading right back up to resistance levels right here, so this is going to be something interesting. I think the last time we talked about this, it might have been actually something of a shorter-term swing trade. But you see, it did manage to break out after that dip. Maybe I'll go over here to the 4-hour chart just so I can show you. There was a lot of volatility around here based off of what happened with the Coinbase stuff. However, we are heading up for that next level of resistance, Kilo, and that is around 1326. We're at 1313 right now, so we're pretty darn close. So for the next few minutes, you might actually be watching to see what happens as we approach this level, because if we're able to slam through, then we could start using this as a level of support. To me, that's normally what I would do. I would say for this one in particular, because we do have those multiple levels of resistance, I would be a little bit more cautious. Not necessarily the type of cautious that comes with a lot of selling and stuff, but I just would be a little bit more cautious. And the reason why, again, is that if I go over here to the 4-hour chart, a lot of resistance up here, and you can actually see this taller level of resistance. It comes back up here towards 1381. So even if we manage to break above this Fibonacci level, it might not be as easy as actually going straight up here towards 15 cents and so forth. So keep an eye on this one. The momentum is still there. The daily momentum is still very, very strong. The weekly momentum is just turning strong right now. It looks like on the MACD. Let me open this up. Yeah, it looks like it's going to turn positive today. So you should be in a very decent spot, but in the scheme of things, you're basically looking for a larger breakout above all this resistance, probably even above some of these trend lines here. These trend lines for XLM have been a little bit as you might imagine. Like here is one of them. It was kind of weird. It just basically signaled the end of the downtrend. I'm making this look better than it was because really it was like this and it had that false one. But I think this is one of the ones we want to trade it with log maybe. Is it one of the ones? Yeah, it was one of the ones we want to do with log. Yeah. Okay, but regardless, it's still in a good spot here. Next up, as far as breakouts are concerned, we have this one. It's breaking out now. Week after week after week after week, you're looking at some pretty good ones, but you're not going to see the glory, like the really strong profits, until we're able to break out above this level right here. And so let me just delete everything here. We'll make it back up next time we talk about it. This right here, that's what you want to break out above. If you're able to do it, you have a really good shot of seeing XLM go sky high in a short amount of time, going from maybe 14 cents back up towards 17 cents. That's going to be where a lot of profit is. From 14, which we're not at yet, to 17, that's around 20%. That's the move I think you're looking for. But at this point, you're still holding everything in anticipation for that larger move. Because even if Bitcoin did take a drop and something goes bad here and we dip back down a little bit, ultimately, we still have these higher lows here to keep pushing us higher and higher and higher. And that may lead to maybe another week of consolidation, maybe 2 weeks of consolidation. But ultimately, we're in a bull market. Those breakouts should keep on coming, and that should push us back up towards that 17 cents, 18 cent level way up here. But for now, your main focus is just, can we break out? Weekly momentum would say yes. We haven't had a breakout with weekly momentum in quite a bit of time. And the last time we had that, I don't think we've had it in a long time. There's a breakout here. We had momentum, but it didn't work out. I mean, but that's not the type of thing you'd look to break out upon, though. Yeah. Already broken out there. Tested out, moving higher now. Next one. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're looking to go up here. It's going to be hard to get back above 17 cents, though. It's going to be hard. So you're either going to have to really have a big blast out moment, or you're going to have to give yourself literally like 2 to 3 weeks to break out above that one. But you shouldn't have much resistance up until that point, even with this little circle zone that I built. Again, as long as Bitcoin stays fine, we should be able to break above that. Just give it a little bit of time, but time means like 2 to 3 days. It doesn't mean like weeks and so forth. Hey Gus, do I think Dogecoin will hit 15 cents? I don't know. Let's see. So far, it looks like it wants to. Just make sure that whatever plan you have in place here, you stick to it. Because right now, just like with a lot of other tokens, it's hitting some of these old levels of resistance. For Dogecoin, that happens to be around 15.15. So 0.15, not 15.15, about 15.5 cents. Looks like that's where it's headed. But it is still having this larger move right here. So just be careful with it. It's having a breakout. Everything about Dogecoin looks good at this point in time. But just like with all these tokens, eventually it's going to have one of these consolidation moments. And these consolidations with Dogecoin, because it has been moving up a lot over the past few weeks. Like, what is Dogecoin at, everybody? It's been like a... Yeah, Dogecoin is up 70% in the last 7 days. So, Jesus. When I told you guys it was just gonna rocket out of nowhere, my God, it sure has done that. You know, who knows how much further it can go, but man, that's a lot in a short amount of time. If we go over here to the top 7-day percent movers, we're looking at WIF, which is a big meme token right now, Pepe, Bonk, Shiba Inu, AR, then Dogecoin right here. And Dogecoin has the largest market cap out of any of these by a long shot. It's like almost double of Shiba Inu, a lot more than AR, a lot more than Bonk, a lot more than Pepe, and a lot more than WIF. So, it's going to have a little bit more trouble doing it. But at this point, 70% in a week, 80% in the last 30 days, it's definitely been moving here. So it might have to take a breather along that resistance level. But I know you've been looking for an opportunity to get out of it. So you're getting really, really close to getting to that next level of resistance if you do want to sell Dogecoin. Because I know a couple days ago, we weren't even sure if Dogecoin was going to get back up here. Or yesterday, we weren't even sure if Dogecoin was going to get back up here in this short amount of time. And it surprised me, that's for sure. The good thing about Dogecoin is it fit into that buy and leave it mentality for a while. And hey, Pablo, just took a 9% on 88 cents this morning. You mean like that? Oh, at just? Oh, okay, that's probably just, you're not meaning to say at just, but yes, exactly like that. Taking any profit that you guys can is always going to be nice because then you get to spend your money on stuff. Like, again, I don't know what you guys spend your money on. I don't spend my money on much. I spend my money on Cuban cigars. You don't know how expensive these things are in the country. I buy Cuban cigars. I buy nice food for my dog. Like tomorrow, I'm probably going to try to go get him some more dog food, some like nice premium stuff, like, just premium cuts of meat chopped up, basically. But later on in the month, my sister's coming back from college. We're going to go on a little spring break vacation. I'm going to go take her out to the beach and stuff like that so she can relax and get out of the school mindset. Take Loki out to the beach. She'll love it. I'm taking my sister and my grandparents all to a very nice dinner. That's the type of stuff I spend my money on because I really don't do much. A lot of you guys, I think, see influencers online. They're always doing something crazy or going somewhere and having tons of fun. I guess I go to Vegas. That's my thing. But I try to be frugal. But like some of you guys just want to have a large amount of money to buy even more crypto down the road. Some of you guys are looking to maybe put a down payment on a very cheap or expensive house, doesn't matter. You guys are looking for maybe a vacation for the loved one. Whatever you guys are looking for this money, you guys have to make sure you lock in the profits in order to even spend the money in the first place. Oh, and hey, baby fish, happy to see you, my man. I see you in there. I see you being a mod. And hey, the Diamond Life, thank you very, very much. Is it unreasonable for Doge to reach all-time highs without the help of Elon? I know it ran up a lot during the S&L run. Curious to see if it can hold its own. It's not unreasonable, but it's going to take Dogecoin. It's going to take Elon Musk, yes. And you have to remember, Dogecoin is inflationary, so there's a lot more tokens. So the market cap is going to have to probably be a little bit higher. So just, understand that there. Not a lot higher, but you're going to have probably a few catalysts there, that's for sure. And what's the issue with Dogecoin right now is there's still a lot of people that want to get out of it. And those people, when they hit certain resistance levels, they're going to sell old bags, basically, and that'll add a little bit more pressure on the selling side of Dogecoin. Now, we should be able to break through all of those over time, but, who knows how long exactly that's going to take. Right now, Dogecoin's on fire. We just talked about it a little bit here. Same with Shiba Inu and things like that. They should continue to go higher. But that doesn't mean we go up to Dogecoin can go up to 15 cents, 16 cents, 17 cents. It could drop all the way back down to 12 cents or 10 cents or something like that. And then it could just start barreling straight towards 25. I think we do need to see Elon Musk start talking about Dogecoin a little bit more, which means the Dogecoin community is going to have to start harassing him a lot more. Maybe not harassing is the wrong word, but they're going to have to start tweeting at him a lot more on X. Excuse me, and that they're gonna have to get his attention. I don't think I've seen much from him as far as Dogecoin, and I think this time he will do it more when I think it becomes more relevant. But it's gonna take a lot of community there to really say, hey, Elon, talk about it. And then, he's not going to come out and say, hey, everybody go buy Dogecoin. But you may see a little bit of a Shiba Inu dog. You may see a dog on a rocket ship or something like that. That's all it takes to get Dogecoin really going. But I'm not really worried about those type of things until Dogecoin really starts going above 30 cents and 40 cents. That's when the parabolic momentum of Dogecoin really, like, everything really crazy goes on. Like, Dogecoin falls down. Like, remember I showed you at the beginning, Dogecoin fell down 75% in one day, then rallied up a few 100% the next few days. It's incredibly crazy how fast Dogecoin can go. But I stress this, it's not going to have your typical rally, because it was the coin during the last rally. So it's going to be a lot more volatile, a lot more fun, but also a lot more risky for those looking to trade into it with leverage. At least now, I gotta relight this. At least now, we don't necessarily have to worry about the low market cap volatility when it comes to Dogecoin. We don't have to worry about that to the same degree. Those types of tokens are going to be like the token that we were just talking about a few seconds ago. I think it was a WIF. Ooh, Cedar. Love Cedar. That's the type of stuff where you're like, be careful. This thing can fall hard in a matter of minutes. Same type of tokens as Dogelon Mars and things like that. Some of the things that we took were really small bets on because they were so high risk, but they're making us money right now. I think like just a few weeks ago, let me see if I can find it. This weekend, I promise I'll get my Crow affiliate link up for you guys. I know some of you guys have been asking for it. Let me just type in Crow. A good example of this is crypto.com. Accounts, crypto wallet. So I bought Fetch AI while testing out this for like a long-term position. I bought Fetch AI January 25th, and I spent $27, okay? And I said this was January 25th. So I didn't buy it all the way down here or even all the way over down here. I bought it right over here, right? As it was coming back down, consolidating, I bought it right over here. Not even down here. I bought it right over here. And lo and behold, just, a couple months later, all of a sudden we're much, much higher. These are the type of tokens where it's like, okay, I bought over here. Wow, all of a sudden it's already up 163%. Wow, that's great. But if I were to be lucky enough to buy it all the way down here in October, now it's up 2,000%. So it depends on when you buy a lot of this stuff. Dogecoin so far, if you were to buy it at those lows, before the Elon Musk acquisition or of Twitter, it's up 131%. If it goes back up towards all-time highs, then it's up around 1,000%. Still really good. If you're buying Dogecoin right now, though, you're looking at for all-time highs. You would expect it to go above all-time highs, of course, but you're only looking at 442% returns. So lots of different things out there, lots of different opportunities. Which is, I guess, why I was telling all of you guys all these random altcoins that I've been buying. Like, I guess, well, now that we kind of have some run to go back over to that watch list, the coins that haven't popped yet, the risky ones. Let's go to the other ones, okay? Hello Labs down 43%, OKB down 10%, and Sidus down 3%. Everything else is positive. Some of these ones are XAI, Nexo, BitGet token up 75%, 80%, 100%. This is over the last 90 days, not over the last few months, of course, when I first set up this watch list. But still, they're all making pretty good moves, and we only have a few that are down. The other ones that I buy during dumps. This one was started, I think, in December. You know, these ones seem to be doing a lot better because they were up and they came back down, and so that dump, you catch onto that momentum when it's on a weak spot. World tokens up 200%. Fetch AI is up 190. You know, for heaven's sakes, internet computers up 175. And if you guys have been here long enough, you guys know that I used to just absolutely rip on ICP because of how fast it fell and how far it fell. But now I was like, hey, I bought it. I think I bought it around like $8, quite a bit of it, and it's moving up quite a bit. No, even like $4 or something like that. But it's come up a lot since then. Ajax is up, RLC is up, GRT. There are stuff that's, oh no, actually nothing is down from the buy during the dumps thing. Really, ELF, that has underperformed. That one's only up 26%, but the buy during dumps one over the past few months, it's been performing. Low market cap watch list. These are the riskiest of the riskiest. Last 90 days, 74% down, 61% down, 50% down, SG 42% down. A lot of stuff down here for the most risky plays out there. And again, these are like $60 million, $7 million, you know, $174 million. The most riskiest type of tokens you can have here. On the other side, some of them are up 1,000%, 900%, you know, higher risk, higher reward. But if you catch on to the momentum, you're usually okay. But again, some of these, how do I say it? If you buy a token, the worst it can go is down 100%. Tons of opportunities to the upside. And that's the reason you get into these low market caps. But these low market caps, oh boy, they're always a journey. They're always a journey to play around in. Oh no, I'm fucking up the wrapper here for this Cuban. I think as I'm talking too much and I'm grabbing it too much, let me take off this outside little wrapper part. All right. Yeah, hope Diamond Life, appreciate the super chat. Let me know if let me know if you have any questions. And hey, Ken, oh, death threats. Oh yeah, guys, remember when I sold Dogecoin back in the day, I got a lot of hate from it, from the diehard ones, because remember, I was one of the larger Dogecoin streamers out there. And so when I told people I was starting to sell off my Dogecoin, not when it was going down, you know, but when it was going up, I think people give you a little bit more leeway if something's crashing and you sell. But I was selling it when it was going up. So I think people really just got ticked off with that. What is my definition of profit and how do I do it? Profit to me, I don't know if you're asking that to me or somebody else, but to me, it's just you make a profit on your investment. So if I buy low, sell high, the difference, that's my profit. I have to lock that in, I have to move it over, and I have to pay taxes on it. And then, you know, from there, I'm happy to be as B. But until that, you know, until the gains I have realized in an exchange turn into US dollars in my bank account, I am not necessarily, you know, it's not a true profit for me. You know, there are ways you can talk about profit and so forth. Like right now, when I talk about Fairdesk and I show you guys, hey, my profit right now on this portfolio is $6,300. That's still profit, but it's like unrealized profit, if that makes sense. I don't really differentiate too much until, you know, we start closing positions. Because right now you're going to see a whole bunch of zeros because we haven't sold anything. All this is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Because there is no profit being taken. But if I were to like sell off 50% or I had a price target and I sold at 50% there, you would see realized profit showing up. Like here, maybe with Bonk very fast. So here's Bonk. I'm going to sell. How much Bonk do I own? I own thousands. Okay. So if I were to sell 1,000 Bonk right now, 1,000. Okay. Because it's already run up a little bit. It's having a little bit of a lower day. I'm selling it. I'm happy with some of the profits. If I hit sell, order submitted. It's looking for a way to sell it. The position's not there yet. Nobody's bought it. Because Bonk is still moving down a little bit. There we go. All right. Now what you see here. Oh, damn it. I zoomed in too much. Okay. 250? 200? 175? Okay. See this right here? Realized profit is now $11. Now, my overall profit over here is going to go down a little bit, but I've locked in $11 of profit. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of different ways to talk about profit, but usually it's there's the amount you're up or the amount you're down. Yeah, well, depending on if you're shorting or long, you should be going long. And hey, Discount Killer, happy to see you, my man. I hope you're doing well. And always, Diamond Life, thank you very much for the super chat, man. I appreciate the first super chat that you've given to the channel. I just spend to help my family come from generational poverty. For me, I am in a different situation. So, my grandparents were, and my great-grandparents were fairly wealthy growing up. I wouldn't say like they're like upper class, but they're a good middle class. Like they had some land, they had some stuff. My mom had me, and that kind of led to a little bit of issues with the rest of the family, I guess I'd put it. And my mom, you know, I was on like government food stamps and stuff like that. So I grew up seeing the cool stuff over there, but not having access to it. And so basically, I grew up in poverty. Like, and it's not fun. You know, imagine not having gas to get to school type of stuff. But now, you know, with cryptocurrency, with investments, just being able to access the market. Remember, when I first started trading and I first started learning how to trade when I was younger, because I saw this as a vehicle, because again, I went to private school on a scholarship and I asked all these parents like, hey, you guys are making a lot of money. How did you do this? And it's like, hey, well, we had a job. Our job pays pretty well, first of all, but we put a lot of money in investments and those investments paid out very well. That type of stuff, right? So when I first started trading, people don't think about it nowadays. You had commissions. You had to pay to do a trade in the first place. So everybody was barred from even having access to the market, which was really bad, you know? And now you can have somebody, you know, on food stamps or somebody, you know, like that, just, you know, put like $100 a month into cryptocurrency. Not a lot, you know, or a stock, whatever. They can put some of that money in there, which goes a long, long way. Robinhood Europe listed dog Wi-Fi. You hear the news? I did not hear that. That's good for that particular coin, though. That means it has a better chance of going up. If only the main US Robinhood account could do the same thing. Can I tell us about Mr. Pool? What's the deal? Oh, say I have not seen this. I don't know who Mr. Pool is, so does anybody know who Mr. Pool is? Mr. Pool hot tubs and stuff? Yeah, hey, anybody, you're going to have to tell me what Mr. Pool is, because I have no idea what that is whatsoever. How do you pay taxes on it? What's the best way? Typically, when you're paying taxes for crypto and stuff like that, it's best to go through a tax accountant, because you can show them all of your selling and buying and things like that. And then they can just say, hey, this is the number you owe, and this is what you got to pay. And if you pay this, you got no issues. But typically the way the government works is they want your typical 15% capital gains tax. Sometimes it's higher, based off of like how you're trading, and how much money you're making. They've made it more complicated than it needs to be. They just need to have one flat rate for everybody. But it typically depends on how much money you made overall. And then if, how would I say it? How long you held the position. There are different types of trades you can do out there, which kind of annoys me for the most part, because again, as somebody who likes the dollar cost average, some of my positions may be only open for a month. Other ones in the dollar cost averaging spree that I will do, they could be there for a year. And it makes it very difficult to figure out how all of that works, which is why I typically say, hey, go through an accountant. For most of you guys, the IRS is not going to care. What you have to go do is if you go through some software like, you know, H&R Block or TurboTax or whatever, I'd say go through an accountant if you can. But again, those cost money. It'll just say, how much money did you make in profit on crypto? How much money did you make? And if you can show them how much money you made, then they'll automatically calculate everything for you and it'll be fine. But typically, again, it gets a little bit more complicated sometimes if you try to do the government's way, which is why I say most of you guys are probably better off going to an accountant. I think when I first got into crypto, I was going to an accountant that was provided for free, and it was at the University of Washington. The tax students, they do taxes. You're not going to get the best returns, you know, and stuff like that, but they'll get everything done pretty well. Who knows how much more of this I have left. But yeah, there's a few opportunities for you to do that way. Cardano's soaring right now. Let's see. Oh, look at that. It is. ADA is making a move. Okay, I thought I was shaking for a second. It was just the computer. All right, there we go. ADA is making a move. It's up 6% basically, or 5.5%. How is everything else doing? Bitcoin Cash is up 20% right now as well. That's what Bitcoin Cash. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. EOS is still moving up higher. Matic is a little bit. XRP is still hovering around that resistance level, that breakout. And you guys are also seeing a lot of stuff that's down today, and that's because they went up so much yesterday. So you're seeing different levels of tokens, some that have already popped up and they're consolidating, and some that haven't popped out so far, or they're still making their next level up. So that's why I'm telling you guys, hey, make sure to look at some of those 4-hour charts and those hour charts. That's where you're going to see some of those breakouts. For ADA, look at that breakout. Well, there was a couple breakouts here. First breakout for ADA was right there with momentum going on. So that was the first one. And the second one right here was probably on the 4-hour chart, break a structure. Yeah, right there. And there was another opportunity. For me, I like to go right there because you still anticipate it to continue going higher. And that's why you're looking at some of these smaller breakouts, but they're there. But again, are you buying ADA right now? I mean, maybe if you're looking at a 5-minute chart, but I mean, that itself is already kind of difficult to see. It's about to turn positive for momentum on the 5, so that's not bad. 15 minutes, okay. Yeah. There you go. And that's despite Bitcoin pretty much being neutral for the day. Bitcoin is down 0.4%, not really down or up a lot, you know? So you're seeing a lot of these things still turn out to be green. NASX Cardano, yes sirree. Bitcoin buy or sell. Right now for Bitcoin, I'm not buying or selling. I'm waiting for this consolidation. I'm waiting for this breakout. Again, for Dogecoin, or excuse me, for Bitcoin right now, we're basically consolidating right here. We're consolidating. If you want to just buy and assume we're going to continue to break out to the upside, this is something of a buying opportunity. Maybe if you're looking to hold for another week or something, right? But for most people, you're probably going to want to see a confirmation on that breakout because some people may buy here, some people may be trying to buy down a little bit lower, or maybe we have a breakdown below the 20 moving average in the 4-hour chart, and that brings us back down towards 59,000, 58,000, and they want to try to buy down there. Ultimately, you probably want to buy on a breakout, but you know, to each their own. Bitcoin looks like it wants to keep on moving higher, so you could just buy. But you know, some people don't like to see their price action go down too much before they actually reverses. You know, but again, to each their own. It's kind of like how much pain can you handle? Because not everybody again likes to buy, watch it go down quite a bit before moving up higher. And hey, Tyler. Okay, so I bought Doge and Shiba a month and a half ago, and I haven't sold anything. I'm up a total of like 2,200 for the month and 1,300 on Shiba, and the rest Doge. What? I don't know the last word. Oh, would you sell? Thank you for thank you for adding, because I was like, what is that? It depends on for how long you want to hold it. I'll tell you right now, both Shiba Inu and Dogecoin are at really high levels of resistance. And Tyler, this goes back to what I've been talking about before. You need to have a solid plan on when you want to sell, when you actually make the trade itself. That means it may be in a day trading portfolio, it may be in a swing trading portfolio, or it may be in a longer term traded portfolio. For me right now, if you're looking for a swing trade, this is a great opportunity to at least take some of your profit off the table. You can do that in various ways if you're talking about multiple tokens. Sometimes people are like, I want to sell all of my Shiba Inu and I want to leave half of my Dogecoin, or I want to sell all of my Dogecoin and leave half of my Shiba Inu open and see where it goes from there. But by doing that, like we just talked about with the locking of the profit and doing the realized gains, you've realized gains and now your account is ready and it has more money than it started. And you've taken the first step of becoming a good trader because you're trying to make consistent profits, consistent profits. So there's a few different ideas for you. Typically, you're at a pretty big level of resistance. For me in my long-term portfolios, I wouldn't sell during this time. But if you're looking for a swing trade and you're like, hey, I want to have some money and I think that maybe crypto will dip in a little bit, you could, of course, sell a portion of it or sell all of it. It's really up to you. Like, you shouldn't feel bad if you sell and the price goes higher down the road. I do that all the time. I sell and the price goes higher. So, but my accounts, my portfolio grew, and that's all I care about. I'm making money. Remember, because I have to make a certain amount of money in order to pay my bills, whether it's rent or car insurance or Loki's food or my food, going out, drinking at the crazy $25 drinks at the bars and stuff like that these days. I got to pay for all that shit. So I sell, I make a profit, I get some of that out, and I move it over to my bank account and go spend it on different stuff out there. Different ways to view it. But yeah, it's as good a point as any to scale out and lock in some profit. But I can't make the decision for you. If I do it, I'll get in trouble and I'm saying I'm giving you guys financial advice. Ooh. And hey, Diva, great day in crypto indeed. And hey, Nick, I'm doing well. How about yourself? Could Doge come close to all-time highs this altcoin season? I believe so, but I think it's going to come quick and fast just like it did last time. It feels like a lot of these tokens are just making these really wild parabolic moves, and eventually you may see Dogecoin slow down quite a bit for a while, and altcoins keep on running, and then Dogecoin have another wild move out of nowhere. I don't know if Dogecoin's going to technically like chug up at like chug. It looks like it's just making these wild moves. Because again, if you zoom out on these weekly charts for Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, a lot of these meme tokens, whoosh, look at this. Dogecoin at weekly chart. Oh, that rocket ship right there. Really making some moves. They're really making some quick moves. And then there's also Shiba. I mean, look at that. It was fine. It wasn't doing much, but it was okay. It wasn't like going to new lows or anything. But then boom. Boom. Right? So... And on top of that, they were blowing through a lot of their resistance levels. Why is my phone beeping at me? Okay, no, nothing big. You think Bonk will reach all-time highs from last year? It's already over a $1 billion market cap. Bonk is doing fairly well, so I would say yeah. It really depends on how much further it goes afterwards, but Bonk to me is still moving pretty well. It's one of the reasons I decided to invest in it during that last dip that it had over the past few month or so. I was happy to buy it because I still thought it had a lot more room to go. And so far, it's moving. Not as much as I want, but it's moving. Well, I can't say that. I didn't average down enough when I had the position, so it took a little bit longer time for me to actually turn a profit on it. That was my issue with it, but it's still doing very well. And hey, Jay Smooth, he has a different, he has like another viewpoint here. RSI is way too high with Shiba. I'll take profits if it decides to rip again, but I won't add until it cools off. Yeah, that's a very reasonable, moderate position to take. Says, hey, it's going crazy right now. I wouldn't be, I don't have to expect it to go much higher, right? So that's a good way of saying it. So I thought you were saying something else, but yeah, that's a pretty reasonable position to make, a very reasonable decision to make, and that means you've locked in profits. You buying any coins anytime soon? No, everything's ripped off. Like I told you guys a few days ago, I was buying tokens. Even the last couple of weeks, I've been buying tokens. I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor of buying tokens over the past few weeks. Let me see. Oh, this cigar is good, but it's burning my fingers. Jesus. My channel. YouTube will let you guys know I'm streaming sometimes. Sometimes it won't, but most of the time I think it's doing better now. it will not tell you when I post videos. It will not, because nobody ever watches them. Okay, so this is when I was in Vegas. Solana buy. Talked about buying Solana 2 months ago. Can I just find something where I'm talking about? A month ago, is Bitcoin done falling? Oh boy, things got really bad. Well, this isn't good. This is when we had a little bit of a dip. Where was it here? This is when I was talking about the dip to 48,000. No stream tonight. A month ago, things are going to get fun. A BitBoy video. This is 3 weeks ago. Which altcoins are next? Let me see. Hey everyone, hope you guys are all having a good day. Bitcoin is booming, and this is where buying. So, okay, so this is 3 weeks ago, so this means somewhere around here. Probably right here, okay? So back in early February. Altcoins is going to come in handy. Last night we talked about a few of them where buying altcoins is. Sorry, let me refresh it. Hey everyone, hope you guys are all having a good day. Bitcoin is booming, and this is where buying altcoins is going to come in handy. Last night we talked about a few of them, Matic, Bonk, ID token, to name a few. And Matic is barely trying to break out right now. Bonk has already broken out like 20%. It's going berserk. And you have stuff like ID token, which is up another 17% on the day, which is still kind of risky to hop in if you ask me. But again, if you're a day trader, all of these are going to be great opportunities for you to hop in and make some money. What you guys are looking for, as always, is a little bit of resistance due to the price action. It's usually going to be some type of steady wall or a moving average. Right now, I've been seeing more moving averages, specifically 20 weeks and 50 days. Those are the levels you're trying to break. You're seeing a lot of short-term pops, and those short-term pops are exactly what you're looking for. I'm going to go head over to downtown Seattle later on today, so I can't stream for a while. Like I told you guys before, my friend is facing some court issues. I'm going to go there to support. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I was in Seattle for court issues. Not my court issues, for friends' court issues. But again, let's just go over to Matic here. 3 weeks ago, Matic. What was happening? Yeah, it was just breaking out. All right? So you go over here, you see the breakout happening, you're buying, it's not necessarily going straight up. It's not like not everything's going straight up. Look at that, doing pretty well. Some of these were hitting some moving average resistance levels here, even on the weekly chart. Maybe, let's see, was it a 50-week moving average and a 200 weekly moving average? So, I'm kind of just patiently waiting. But for swing trades, I already told you guys, I started scaling out last week. No, earlier this week. No, I started scaling out last week. So, I've been scaling out of a few positions here and there. And I'll see where it goes, of course. But for my swing trades, I'm in scale out mode. The reason that I talk in the way I do with a lot of you guys is because a lot of you guys don't necessarily see those videos. And I don't think you guys should necessarily buy because I say buy, if that makes sense, or sell because I say sell. But, this is a weekly chart. There was weeks when we were down here. I want to see if I can find another video or something. Let's see. SEC messed up. No, this is all pre-Bitcoin spot ETFs and stuff. I've been trying to put out a lot more videos recently. These videos seem to be getting a little bit more views. About the same. Yeah. But basically, if you watch these videos, I tend to talk a little bit more in depth about my thoughts without talking about technicals. Just saying, hey, here's a few tokens I'm looking at. Here's a sector that I'm looking at. There are a few things kind of moving up and down. Here's 4 days ago. Hey, everyone. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic. Now, as far as Bitcoin's concerned, we blew past the resistance last night, and we've been looking at some very nice numbers since then. At this point in time, Bitcoin is sitting at 53,384. 53,000. After breaking out. This was a very abnormal looking chart. Whales came in to boost us up, and I'm okay with that. I was wrong about us going down to maybe 48,500 or level or so. It looks like whales came in and just still doing well at the AI tokens and stuff like that. I'm still doing some day trades, but there are other tokens out there at this point in time, and I'll put a list so you guys can see them here pretty soon. But all right, here's a list of some of the tokens I was talking about. Flare, Theta Network, VeChain, Near Protocol, MNT, Ape, and stuff like that. I don't know. Flare is at the top of the list, even though it's been moving up a lot. These are for, let's see, Flare. FLR? How long ago was this, though? This is 4 days ago, though. 4 days ago. We've entered into a consolidation. I'm buying some up, and I'm waiting for that large move to come up. I may buy a little bit more here for that same type of move. I'm not buying necessarily, how do I say? I'm not buying at the top. I'm kind of buying at these lower ends once I see the drop. It's basically that drop that signals, hey, first entry, dollar cost average a little bit more, and then wait for that breakout. That's what I'm doing with a lot of these different tokens. Now, most of the time it happens down here, of course, but now that we have to be more picky, there's still tons of tokens out there. The other ones out there look like Theta Network, VeChain, I don't know, Theta. I own Theta, but it's this one's a little bit different. I thought the volatility being smacked down would actually drop it down a little bit more. It wasn't able to, so I stopped buying this kind of after here. And you can see if I kind of zoom back out a little bit. See this drop that happened? To me, I thought this drop would continue down kind of closer to here. Nope. And so I missed out on being able to buy a little bit more. However, I wouldn't say it's doing great, but again, it's consolidating. It's just going sideways here. And that consolidation hopefully leads to another move up. That's the way I view a lot of this stuff. And so I'm basically buying when nothing's happening. And then by the time, things start to really pop off, I'm just like, time to sell. So I have a different strategy than a lot of other people. And even right here, let me make this frank. I didn't buy Bitcoin over here because I thought Bitcoin was going to come back down to maybe 48,500 or so. So I didn't actually buy. So I missed this Bitcoin rally. But you guys have been here for a while. You guys were here the last few weeks. I'm just buying up altcoins. So when all these altcoins were going sideways, like a Dogecoin, an Ape token, Arbitrum. Well, no, maybe not Arbitrum, but Arbitrum's still a good token out there. AXS, BNB. Well, I didn't try BNB. That's a Binance token. XRP. Oh, XRP broke out. Yay! XRP finally broke out. All right. Talk about that a little bit later. But as these tokens are kind of doing nothing, I just tend to buy them up. It's just the way I like to trade them. But I can hold for a while waiting for a move. And this goes back to the personal way that I trade. Again, when I make a trade, I'm a little bit different than a lot of other people. And I'm much more precise. I have everything a little bit more organized because this is obviously my livelihood. I buy, but when I open a position on a swing trade, I do two things. I have all the technical analysis under my charts. Everything's good to go. But I will have a price target and a stop loss. I know that the position will either hit that target price and sell, or it'll hit the stop loss and sell. So I know exactly how much money I'm going to lose or how much money I'm going to make. You can add another component to that, and you can say, hey, you want to have a partial stop loss or a partial target price. Typically, partial stop losses aren't my thing, but partial price targets, those are very good. So you can say, hey, if the price hits this, I want to sell 25% of my position. I want to sell 50% of my position, or so forth. That's the way I trade. So I know pretty much how much I'm going to make or how much I'm not. And then if I do the partial one, I know at least how much I could make. And then I can always readjust at a new partial price target and so forth, right? So I'm much more do the trade and I can feel comfortable enough to leave. Typically for me, I have a pretty busy life, right? I don't only trade. I do YouTube, which requires me to do a lot of other stuff. You guys will see that I have sponsors. Oh, did I take off the sponsors? Yeah, I did take off the sponsors. Hold on. I have sponsors on my side. Those sponsors are two exchanges, which are BYDeFi right now, and it is Fairdesk. Those are the two sponsors. I may have a few more coming up here pretty soon, but those ones I'm pretty much just talking about them on stream and so forth here and that type of stuff. On the other hand, I have other sponsors that are not necessarily crypto related. One of those is Opus Clip that you guys can see on the screen now. They cut up videos like at my stream or a video where I'm just talking. They'll cut it up and put it into short form content or even other batches of long form content. So they'll cut it up for me, add subtitles, and do all the work for me. I'm helping them right now work with figure out how to use their software for crypto streams so I could put what I'm doing with you guys into little bite-sized portions. But, big but here, I want you guys to see the whole chart because, if you just cut down the middle of this right here, you're not going to see that much. You're not going to see my face. You're not even going to see the numbers on the chart. You might not even see the extra data I have on the chart for you guys. So I'm working with them right now to try to get a lot of crypto short form content out to you guys. So maybe if you guys are on the shorts algorithm and you guys aren't necessarily on, you don't have a full 5 minutes to watch me talk about something. Maybe you guys just have a few seconds. That's an easy way to go about it, right? Because sometimes people they'll look at shorts, they're looking at TikTok or shorts for like 10 minutes, but they won't watch a 10-minute video. It's just the way our minds work. We don't really have a long attention span these days because of the way that modern social media and media in general has kind of gone out and, done stuff. So I do a lot of random stuff. Tradesing, I work with them as far as the news section. And then there's Lux Algo. I work with them as far as making new strategies and trying to figure out what I can do to make, how I can use your software. Or you guys know I do these really long tutorials on their products in order to give people a kind of a spoon-fed explanation, whether it's one of their paid products or whenever it's one of their free products out there. I don't, I'll do tutorials on either one of them. And and there are people who don't even pay for Lux Algo. And so, how to say it? If I do a video on a paid Lux Algo product, only so many people have paid or are paying for that product that will really want to learn it. So I never expect those videos to get necessarily a lot of views, but I'll still do it anyway. So out there in the world, in the web, there's a place where you can learn how to use it if you guys so desire, right? And that's why when you guys go over to YouTube nowadays and you guys go over to incognito mode and you guys type in, I don't know, price action concepts is the big one, right? Price action concepts, Lux Algo, you'll see my video right underneath the Lux Algo one. So you see Sam right there talking. Sean, excuse me. You see Sean right there talking. But it's more about kind of little updates and stuff. It's not necessarily like how to use it properly. And then you'll see my it's 8-minute video right there. You'll see my whopping 30-minute video here explaining everything I can. Same thing over here with smart money concepts. I think Tom has a 10-minute video. Yeah, Tom has an 8-minute video right here. And then you'll see my long, it's 10-minute video. Then you see my longer 30-minute video right here. And then I think I have a 30-minute video right here for price action concepts. You just saw that. And I think I have some few more down here. I don't know. They probably wouldn't move down because I made so many. Yeah, here's a 38-minute video. So, I have lots of other. Here's a 30-minute video right here. I don't know. Wasn't that the same one? I don't know. But, I do a lot of that type of stuff. And so what I'm doing more recently here is, with all of my time, which I guess isn't a lot, what I've been doing is working on the course, or I guess it's going to be a playlist now. And then, how would I describe it? Is there a good way to describe it? Making new types of content kind of outside my niche a little bit, the niche that I built up for myself. So I'm going to do some of those dramatic videos like, a Sunny V2, but for maybe a BitBoy that only lasts 3 minutes long. So you guys see the rise and fall of BitBoy, just fun stuff like that. And then doing some videos that are explanation videos talking about why Gary Gensler hates Bitcoin, that type of stuff. And I'm excited about that, but that costs a lot of money. So I have to do all the work ahead of time to make sure that I'm not blowing my money on these things and I understand the process. I can talk with the editors and stuff like that, pay the editors, talk to my friend who runs a very large, successful YouTube channel that understands the algorithm, do that type of stuff. A whole host of things I have to do. But throughout all that, I still enjoy all the streams and things like that and all the work I do. But, that means that I can't necessarily be watching charts all the time. Like if I'm watching, it could be anything. It could even not be work. Maybe I'm watching some anime from today, or maybe I'm looking at some CNBC video. CNBC will be on this chart, on this screen. I'll have some data over here for maybe something else. Maybe it's YouTube data. I'm just looking at my views and see how they're doing, maybe I'm changing up the streams or something. And then over here, I'll have my charts. But I'm not necessarily looking at them all the time. Maybe even 10% of the time. I'm looking at a whole bunch of other stuff. And so by having those target prices on and those stop losses on, it goes a long way. The caveat to all that, though, and I really want to make this clear, a lot of exchanges, if you're not trading futures, if you're just trading spot, right? If you just own the crypto, you're not actually doing day trades with leverage and stuff like that, the futures, you don't have access to stop losses and price targets, which is why I often will tell you guys, hey, if you want to do that type of strategy, you can go over to Fairdesk and BYDFi or whatever exchange you want to. It doesn't matter to me. They I'm sponsored by them, so I'll say please choose them. It helps the sports channel, but again, you can do whatever you want. Now, where you might just do 1x leverage position, so you're not paying the fees for all the the leverage, you can do that and have access to the stop losses and the price targets. But again, not everybody likes to have price targets and stop losses, so it's all kind of a personal preference thing of what each of you guys like to do. And hey, discount Matic on the 1 hour at resistance on the change of character. Let's see. It is moving up quite a bit here. It did have a little bit of a change of character right here, probably even a break of structure. Oh, no, see, I hate when it does a change of character there and a change of character there. This should be a change of character and plus a break of structure. But yeah, it's moving up pretty well. It looks like it just broke out. Forward chart, yeah, it looks like it's just broke out, didn't it? Or maybe I'm not. It's not there yet. Let me see. Not there yet. It's on the verge of it. Keep an eye on it though, because XRP just broke out, and we've been waiting for XRP to break out for God knows how long. Look at that. Look at that. Let me get rid of this long position. There you go. Look how long we've been waiting for this thing to consolidate and break out. It's been a very, 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 very long time. And the fact that Bitcoin's still consolidating, again, that opens up a lot of different doors for altcoins. A lot of different doors from altcoins. And again, Bitcoin's down like 0.4%. It's still exactly where it was an hour ago. We're hitting an order block. We're trying to bounce out of it, and we're trying to start to have a larger move that takes us back above $63,000. Excuse me. But once you guys start to understand the way the market kind of flows and ebbs, it makes everything just so much easier as far as trading and all that good stuff here. Let me do one thing here. There we are. All right. Yeah, I can't pronounce your name. I'm in a short at 62,800, and I believe if not this month, next month, Bitcoin will have a big drop. Where's your opinion on this? All right, so as far as a big drop, it's been kind of hard to say because I've been anticipating some smaller drops over the past few months, and those smaller drops haven't even materialized. We should see some type of dip eventually. The big issue is when it's going to happen, because we could technically go to all-time highs and then have a pretty big drop and then continue to kind of rally up and go to $90,000, $100,000 and so forth. So what I would say is it's not a horrible idea. It is an idea that takes on a lot more risk than I think you should probably be taking. But that being said, if you have some type of stop loss, maybe around 64,200 or something, then you're like, okay, you can kind of live with that and say, okay, it went up, I lost some money, but at least you're not going to be losing a bunch of money if it decides to go towards 65, 68, and again, towards all-time highs here. Because again, Bitcoin in and of itself at this point, I know we're currently at around $62,000. We're about $7,000 away from all-time. I see you. Here, we need to take a Loki break so you guys, while I talk, you guys can see Loki. We're at a large level of resistance. So as we hit that resistance and maybe break out above it, we should go up a lot more if we can manage to break out. That's a big if, but if we manage to break out. So you want to have a little bit of a get out of jail card, basically saying, hey, if we start moving up a little bit too much, you want to just take the loss and not risk that smaller loss turning into something a lot larger. Because that dip, depending on where we're at, again, we could break out to $70,000, then come back to $60,000. We can go up to $80,000 and then break down back down to $70,000. That could be the big dip. It's hard to time it right now because the momentum for Bitcoin is still so strong. And Loki, one last little here. Oh, look at you being a big boy. Yes, oh, I know. I've been ignoring you the last few hours because I've been talking and talking and talking. Oh, yeah, look at you being a good boy. Oh, yeah. Why are you trying to bite my little hands? You're going to get me hives. You got a toy? All right. So, was saying, I will not apologize for my Loki breaks. He has to be entertained, just like everybody else. Now, where was I at? Maybe if you want to look at the weekly chart, you might wait for the momentum to slow down a little bit. So for here, Bitcoin weekly chart, you'll see that we're obviously going up, but we haven't necessarily hit a level where we've started to see some more bearish price action, right? So any dip that you're looking for, it's not going to be something of a drastic dip until some of these things really start to go down. So what I mean by that is back over here, try to make this look not terrible. Back over here in August of 2023, we had a few sell signals that I was giving out to everybody where I was like, oh yeah, we might be coming down a lot because of the way the technicals are pointing. What we saw was, again, Bitcoin hitting a level of resistance and slowly getting rejected by it, with still an opportunity to break out. There was still the opportunity because, again, we just had a golden cross there. The 50 was still coming up pretty well. Things were looking okay. However, right here, we saw that sell signal from the MACD, a sell signal from the stochastic, and a sell signal from the RSI actually happened a week before. To me, this was a big red flag. And on top of that, we had to change the character from here to here. I know you don't see it, but there was one. I think maybe on the daily chart or something. Maybe if I poke this right here. The heck? There we go. Okay. So we had a lot of red signals right there. And then we did manage to drop. But right now, if we move over, we're not even close. We're at bullish. So bullish. Nothing as far as a red flag. The RSI is kind of hot. The stochastic is kind of hot. And of course, the MACD is kind of hot. But you typically see this when the bull market's kind of happening and everything's getting really, really exciting, right? So if I go back over here to the daily chart, there's a change of character right there. So we saw all that negative moves happening. We were like, uh-oh, something bad may be about to happen here. So I took a couple shorts right here, and then boom, I think it went fine. Do I even maybe a video from July? Oh God, that's over 6 months ago though. That's like 8 months ago. Let's see if we can find a video about it. 8 months. There's 6 months. Okay, that didn't take too long. Prices, Ethereum. Where's my video where I was talking? There you go. Happy the 4th. Happy 4th of July. I've opened a short. 4th of July was right over here. So I actually opened up the short a little bit earlier. I was looking at the daily charts too. The daily charts, and I kind of forecasted what the weekly charts might look like. And then boom, you know. This is kind of a riskier trade right now because back in the day we weren't entirely sure how fast Bitcoin was going to go up because we have the Bitcoin spot news. But basically, I opened up a short right here a little bit earlier. The same concept applies though. And so that's the way I try to look for some of those drops. Right now though, when I've tried to use the daily charts to find some of these drops, what I've been telling you guys about in the first few times, I was just flat out wrong. And then now I've kind of just had to adapt to this new market. I'm like, hey, I think Bitcoin will go down a certain amount, and then it goes down. Don't get me wrong, it goes down, but it doesn't go down as much as you would think. I think the last time was over here. Where was it? Yeah, there was a drop sign right here. I was like, okay, Bitcoin may go back down here towards 34,000. I mean, we definitely had a drop from the day to day. It went down a whole, 5% basically. But, and these types of moves have been happening for a while now. Even last bear signal over here happened right here. Okay, not this big drop right afterwards. Nothing happened right here. Now I was like, hey, if we broke down below the 20, something bad might be happening. We never broke down below the 20. We broke down here. It went down a little bit, but again, it just came back down to support. It didn't break that support level. A new sell signal happened over here. Right here. You might have been able to short that if you wanted to. And it came down for a while. It did. I did a lot of day trades through this, not really so many swing trades, but it worked out. This one worked out. Now we had one that was right here, and I was like, okay, 48,000. Let's just come right back here. Nothing crazy. Let's just come right back into this little spot. Nope. Boom. We just popped up right to the top of this right here. Just the top of the support level. and then we managed to go all the way back up here. So I haven't been the best as far as shorting, so don't really look for my advice at this point because it just hasn't been as spot on as I would like it to be. I've been too aggressive in my short calls as far as how far I expect them to go down, and it hasn't necessarily been leading to any big profits. My longs have been doing me much better off here over the past few weeks. Now, still here. This chart, 15. There we go. Bitcoin's holding, guys. We might have an opportunity to surge back up here towards 62,500, then eventually break out. That's kind of the big move we're expecting to see happen next. Right there. But overall, you guys are seeing tons of altcoins do well, just, as long as Bitcoin's going sideways here. Such a good buddy, too. What do you call Loki? Oh, yeah, Loki's awesome. Oh, what's right here? Remember when he was tiny? Oh, yeah, he was tiny. He's a lot bigger now. He's much more ferocious. You guys would love to hear his growl and his bark and stuff. He has a loud freaking bark. He doesn't do it often, but when he's pissed off, he barks. It's usually somebody on the property. What program is being used for these charts? This is TradingView. This is a program that has a free version and a bunch of paid opportunities, or a bunch of paid versions. I have a tutorial on it. If you want to watch it, just go to YouTube and search TradingView tutorial 2024, and then scroll down. You'll see my face probably doing something like this with a face like, hey, and then you'll watch the video. It's a long one, but it tells you everything you need to know, and I tell you how to find the best deals and pay the cheapest prices for this, because most of the time, if you guys are using TradingView, you do want to be paying for a specific version, either the economy version or whatever it is, or the plus. I think it's plus and I don't know what it is, but yeah, one of the first two options. You don't want to be paying for the free. You don't want to be doing the free version, though. It doesn't give you enough tools to succeed. And hey, Robert, thanks for everything. You just can't keep my eyes open. Been a long day. Oh, no worries, Robert. I appreciate it. I know it's definitely a later night. It's a Friday night, right? Everybody's doing their own thing. Right now, we're just chilling and waiting for Bitcoin to make this larger move, or we're hoping that Bitcoin makes this larger move. What I might even do right now, since we've already kind of had that spike, let me adjust this for the 15-minute chart where we go here. Oh yeah, I wasn't even able to break above on the 15-minute chart. We can leave it there. We just want to close above this here. ADA is still going strong. FTM is still doing fine. Pepe is consolidating for a larger move here. Shiba Inu is still doing fine, consolidating. XLM, we were just talking about this. Just hit that resistance level. Just hit it and it got rejected off of it. Again, you just got to be careful with these types of moves and wait for them to have that next big wind up. AGIX, a lot of these AI tokens are consolidating still. EOS is still making some moves. How's Solana doing? Oh, Solana's consolidating, it looks like. It's nice to see ADA make a good move here, though. We haven't seen too many moves from ADA, or enough moves from ADA. Let's just say that. It's been doing fine. Gold is breaking out, too. France is sending troops to Ukraine, so maybe we'll get some extra Bitcoin bets. My God, France, they need to stop. I don't know. I feel like the world wants to enter into a larger, broader war, which would just be horrible. Like, I think people forget. I remember I was a kid during the war in Iraq and stuff like that. When 9/11 happened, my mom was working on the base as an electrician, and she was pretty much locked in the base, and I was like in elementary school. Okay, I remember staying at school, and then we had that like surge to Iraq, and we were like just going gung ho out in the Middle East. There were a lot of people that freaking died. Like, a lot of Americans died out there. Sure, we killed a lot more of them, but they were still Americans dying. I really don't want to see the conflict expand. I personally don't really care too much about Ukraine. I understand we have like a treaty and stuff with them and things like that, but it's not really at the top of my personal priority list, and I don't really care. I don't want it to be the top of the government's list right now. There are so many other things they could be fixing around the country, because, like, remember, we passed this main infrastructure law a few years ago. It was a huge deal back a couple years ago, because it was adding a lot to the debt. But we made these massive investments. But I haven't seen my roads improve whatsoever, like not even to the smallest pothole. And I just don't know where all this money is going because it doesn't seem like it's actually having an effect just yet, besides the inflationary effect. So I'm hoping they can try to get on board with that. But if France drags NATO into a war, which of course America is part of NATO, you would see a lot of turmoil, and that uncertainty could really tarnish what a good rally we've kind of been in as far as the stock market, the crypto market. That could really cause some chaos. And again, Germany's in recession. UK's in recession. We don't need to be going to war during a recession. That's how the government like pumps money into the system, like the industrial complexes, the military industrial complexes. That's how the government gets away with pumping money into them, because again, a lot of the money that we spend, it goes straight back into the industrial complex who employs Americans, or the French industrial complex employs Frenchmen. So there are jobs being created. It does kind of help the economy a little bit, but ultimately you're still spending a lot of money. Here. Let me go over here and search that up though. France. News? Okay. France Macron demands justice after shooting of Palestinians in Gaza. Israel faces mounting pressure to investigate Gaza food aid deaths. Oh, I think I just saw it. France again floats the idea of sending non-combatant troops to Ukraine. You don't want to be doing that. Oh my gosh. Like, if you want to go to Ukraine, don't do it with the state. You have to go through non-government organizations, right? NGOs. You have to go through those NGOs. They'll transport you over there. They'll help you get the guns and all that shit you need, and you can go join the war if you want to. But don't make it a formal thing, because if America gets dragged into a war with Russia, then we have to start talking about nukes. Right? And that's not the pleasant thing to be dealing with here. And again, that nukes makes Bitcoin crash down to like $30,000. Right? And I'm not talking about like nukes going off, but like a very heightened nuclear scare. Yeah, the markets freak out about that. Everybody freaks out about that. And that's the type of stuff that people stop spending very quickly. That leads us to an automatic recession. It just kills a lot of stuff. And you know what? Biden doesn't want to do that because we're in election season. He doesn't want to lose the election to Trump. He doesn't want to be the guy that beat Trump and then lost to Trump because he was so bad as a president by sending us into war. I feel like America is much less pro-war than we used to be. I think people are like, damn, war is expensive. I think that's what happened. I think people actually understood how expensive war was when it used to not be crazy expensive. Like, back in the Nixon days, like the Vietnam Wars, it was expensive, but like we kind of got through it without doing a whole bunch to our national debt and stuff. Nowadays, we are pretty crazy with war. I think we're turning away from that pro-war type of faction in America. See, NA Diva. Yeah, I talked about it a few times, but I can talk about it again. It's one of those more popular tokens right now, right? So as far as Dogecoin's concerned, the big story of the day is it is hitting up against a very large level of resistance around 15 cents. So it's going to be hard for it to actually break out above this. I would say before Sunday, because Sunday we have the new weekly candle starts up. That's when you're probably going to see an acceleration. The big thing is we have to break out above this, because once we do, this will turn into our new level of support. Traditionally with Dogecoin, it doesn't necessarily honor support levels all too much. So I kind of say that like, hey, just realize that in the back of your head. However, if Dogecoin is able to continue moving on here, finally that we have all the oscillators pointing to some good moves here on the weekly charts. There we go. We should see Dogecoin hopefully over the next few weeks try to make a push above this breakout and start heading back up here towards 18 cents, then eventually up here to that next level around 22. This is going to be a hard grind, and I don't know if it's necessarily going to have another week of going boom, bombastically just going crazy out of nowhere. I think that's going to be a little more difficult. However, since we just saw it this week, it's possible, but I'm not going to anticipate it happening again. I would expect it to probably take 3 weeks or more to get back up here to 17 to 18 cents. It might get to 17 cents fairly fast. 18 cents and 22 cents. That seems like it's going to probably take at least a few weeks out of March in order to accomplish that goal. Now, going over here to the daily chart, we've already started the multiple breakouts here. Things looking very, very good. If you're looking for these opportunities to day trade and get into it, you're really looking at the 1 hour chart and the 15-minute charts. These have been giving you guys the best opportunities for saying, hey, change the character right there. All the momentum is going on, a day trade. And then of course you might be looking at something like a Fibonacci level or something like a, right? You have a change of character breakout right there, or maybe another one right here. Everything is buying, right? So you can buy right here and you can trade it up there for a short amount of time and make some profits. That's the way I'd be looking at a lot of coins right now. But this is hitting up against a very large level of resistance. It's going to be a little bit more of a slog for the next few weeks. After that slog is accomplished, we really should be able to start shooting back up towards 25, 30 cents, 35 cents. But I would say that's most likely going to happen not in March. It'll probably happen in April. So give it some time. On the short-term time frames right now, we're still looking fine, but you see how we're kind of consolidating a little bit more. We've stopped this nice grind that we've seen over the past few days. We're going sideways. Let it breathe a little bit. Let it consolidate. This is going to be another opportunity for people to kind of buy in at this point and see if they can get another shot at this as it tries to break out above the 15 cents and then start going to that 17 cents. But again, you know, if you're buying right now, like around 13 to 14 cents, or 13.50 to 14 cents, you know, you're going to be looking at a decent amount of profit if it manages to get back up here towards 16, 17. So let's say you buy it on here. 16 cents is about 16% profit. Not bad. If you're buying right now, though, up to 16 cents, it's like 12% profit. Still good, but you're kind of just buying and you're waiting at this point for those longer term, those day trade moves. And then again, Bitcoin's trying to do this little breakout thing right now. Bitcoin, what it wants to do in the short term, it's desperately just trying to fight this lower highs. So if Bitcoin's able to break out above yesterday's high, which was $63,114, that should bode well for what Bitcoin's able to do for the rest of today's candle and for what it can do for tomorrow's candle as well. But right now, we're just waiting. While we wait, altcoins are having a good time, most of them. But I think one of the weird things here, it's not even weird, it's just the way the market normally works. We've seen a lot of tokens rally up over the last few days, and I think you all can say that's true. After all these tokens have moved up, Diva, what's happened is they're all trying to consolidate right now for that next leg up, just like kind of how Bitcoin is. So people are maybe a little bit more fearful that, you know, those altcoins, how do I say? You just got to be a little bit more mindful of what's going on around the entire market, because Bitcoin's consolidating, trying to break out here. Altcoins, some of them are having their breakout moments, but the ones that have already had their breakout moments, this is probably a better way to say it, they're consolidating, and those are some of the tokens. If you want to do a swing trade, those are what you'd be looking for, but I'd be adamant that you still need to have a good stop loss there, just in case Bitcoin does come back down to, you know, a $59,000 to $58,000 support level, which is going to be the next if we were to fall down from here from, like, you know, $61,000 or so. I remember the Dogecoin millionaire that would not sell his $3 million position. He touted his diamond hands. Yeah, exactly. You know, it is what it is. I felt bad for the guy because afterwards, he started to scam NFTs and stuff like that, I heard. So, you know, I think he's still popular out there. I still hear about him every now and again. I'm hoping that he'll come back and he'll start talking about Dogecoin again, but maybe this time around he'll sell. Right? Because if he was able to sell that $3 million Dogecoin position, he could have bought a lot more Dogecoin at 7 cents, 5 cents, whatever. He could have bought Bitcoin away. He could have bought a whole host of tokens for a lot cheaper prices during the bear market and made even more money this cycle. And I think that's the whole goal for a lot of us here. A lot of the money that I've been using to push these portfolios forward has been from a lot of my Dogecoin earnings from back in 2020, 2021. But in order to have access to those, you really have to sell. You have to realize your profits and so forth. Oops, I hit the space bar. There we go. But if you're not willing to lock in those profits and get your gains realized, then it becomes much more difficult, because then you're kind of just stuck holding a bag of some type. And that's much more difficult, right? So I think that Dogecoin, if you were in Dogecoin and you had a bag, you know, throughout this last cycle and you didn't sell anything, I think honestly, a lot of people out there are going to be much wiser this time, and they're just going to be like, "Hey, I'll sell some of this token right now. I'll sell some of this token right now." It doesn't have to be all of it, but I think they're going to be more willing to just selling. Just more willing to selling. I think what the bad thing is there's lots of streamers out there. Wall Street bets. There are lots of communities out there where you feel good and you have friends in those communities, but the instinct is to keep on holding, keep on holding, keep on holding. And I understand it, but why not just sell a portion and then hold the rest? Sell a portion, hold the rest, sell a portion, hold the rest. I think that's a much easier way of going throughout this whole process, right? What would be a good level to buy Ethereum? Your video today was great and inspired me to start accumulating Ethereum. Yeah, so Ethereum, right now you saw that last accumulation period that we had over the past a couple months ago. Right now we're kind of enjoying that pop, and just like a lot of other positions right here, just like with Bitcoin, we're looking at specific levels of resistance. Loki, be careful. Loki, be careful. You're trying to bring down my lighting system. We're hitting up against another level of resistance, and that's not necessarily the best of things because things tend to get a little bit choppy around these zones. That being said, that choppiness is technically what you'd be looking to buy. So if you wanted to go over here to something of a 4-hour chart and a daily chart, we're at a level of resistance. We've started to consolidate a little bit here. I don't know if I would consider this enough consolidating. This is the daily chart, 4-hour chart, 2-hour chart. I don't think this is enough consolidation. I would like to see us come back down maybe to, it's so hard because we kind of rallied up so much since then. I don't know if we're going to come back down to 2,800 anytime soon, or 2,884. I might actually bring this up a tad by unchecking this box. Okay, let's go back over to the 4-hour chart. Does it match up with these support levels? Yeah, if we can come back down towards $3,000, that might be an opportunity to buy. But this thing's been tearing it up so much that maybe instead of coming all the way back down here, I might do an entry position right over here, right around 3,300 to 3,200. That'd be my initial buy-in. If we're able to get down a little bit lower, down to $3,000, which I think may be a little bit more difficult. Yeah, Bitcoin's gonna have to break down pretty significantly for that to happen. But if Bitcoin is able to break down, then you could start thinking about buying around $3,000. For now, a good accumulation level might be somewhere around below $3,300 for now, because ultimately we're still consolidating and trying to make that larger move up. I don't know if I would actually expect us to come back down here unless Bitcoin were to do something on the downward side, which right now it's not looking like that wants to be the case. I think you'll know probably again just how Bitcoin we're looking for that to move to happen sometime today. You'll probably be looking for the same thing with Ethereum on this 4-hour chart where it tries to dip back down. If it does eventually break down, again, you're swing trading it, so you're not going to be overly heartened, and then it should start coming somewhere between 3,100 and 3,000. This would be a good sweet spot to be buying down here. Regardless, though, these are both opportunities where you can buy. Me being greedy, I tend to want to wait for this. But, again, if you were to wait for the move to come back down here, perhaps that move never materialized, so you kind of missed out on it. So I would still have the say, hey, I'll buy a little bit here, a little bit here. Other than that, just a flat out dollar cost averaging strategy is going to work very well for this. But just keep in mind of what's going to be happening when the spot ETF comes out. You're going to be selling a lot sooner to that date than you think, because Ethereum may have a very abnormal breakout because of it. That breakout may take it up a lot more, which may cause it to have a little more of a crash, even if Bitcoin's soaring down the road. So just understand that. But again, I'll be streaming throughout all that type of stuff, so you don't have to worry too much. Because right now, and we're seeing Bitcoin consolidate and trying to break out. It looks like we may actually break back down here and come back down towards $60,000. That means you might be able to buy some of that Ethereum again at that first level. After that, you're really going to have to see Bitcoin come all the way back down here towards 59,000, 58,000, 59,000. That's where you'd see Ethereum probably heading back down towards $3,000. Excuse me. Which again, not a nasty move, not necessarily a terrible move, but it's a larger consolidation that has to play out because we are now looking at this longer resistance level, which is, you know, it's been here for a while now, a few days. Excuse me. And hey, Kilo, I appreciate it. Yeah, I made sure to drink some tea and I made sure to get enough sleep last night. That's also been something. And I also took some headache pills because I had a headache, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. You lost a lot in safe mood, but good thing you made a lot in Doge. Hey, there you go. It all balances out. As long as you guys aren't over leveraged in a certain position, you guys are usually going to be doing pretty well. And again, it doesn't hurt to just own Bitcoin and Ethereum, but a lot of the stuff that you guys buy, again, a lot of stuff you guys buy will be in those bear markets when we're below the 100 weekly moving average, or if you guys are a little bit more frugal, the 150 week moving average. I tend to just start buying early in case of one time it doesn't work. Because not everything will work out every single cycle, right? Let's see. What do I think about election tokens? I haven't heard much about them, so I can't give you a frank answer. I would say as far as a momentum type of event, the election is going to get more and more heated. I wouldn't necessarily choose a token based off of an individual candidate, but if there's something that kind of just goes up when big election events happen, that might be something to look at. I wouldn't buy a Trump token or a Biden token, because usually those are the tokens that get rugged a lot, because they know that people will kind of throw their money against, you know, for Trump, for Biden, kind of blindly. And those types of things will just usually be rugged quite a bit. But if you can find some type of general token that does pretty well, that might be something to pay attention to. Somebody asked me about a token, but I just missed it. Oh, Brett token. Brett on base? I don't know anything about Brett, so let me check it out. Oh, it's not on coinmarketcap.com, which means it's a very high risk token. Yeah, the market cap is 1 million. This is an extremely risky token, guys. Be careful if you ever want to go into this one. It looks like it's just coming up after having a really bad bear market, like a lot of other stuff. Yeah, the market cap isn't even showing up here, so I don't know much about it. It looks like it's a meme token here, guys, so just be careful with it. The X page has 2,000 followers. So yeah, a very, very, very small community. Careful if you hop into this type of stuff. It's just going to have a huge risk associated with it, along with a very, you know, of course, large reward. Oh, and hey, Avi, happy to see you. Have I seen the new video of Living with Lucy? No, I haven't seen. I've totally forgot about that creator. She was a Dogecoin. Oh, I messed that up. YouTube deleted my 35K sub channel Living with Lucy main channel. No, same channel, yeah. So yeah, she must have done something bad in order to get kicked off of YouTube. Like, it's hard to get kicked off of YouTube and not get your channel back. So she might have been pushing an NFT without saying it's an ad or something, and that's enough for YouTube to get ban you sometimes. So be careful with it. I give up. Goodbye, social media live. It looks like, I mean, YouTube's a grind. I mean, this job is not easy. But yeah, I don't know much about, maybe she has a new channel or something, but that channel isn't doing too hot. The one that I just checked out. Do I think the Trump token might be a rug pull? It has 10K followers and pretty big market cap. It might not end up, like, I won't ever like just flat out say something's gonna be a rug pull because I just don't know. Typically, there's going to be people that own a large amount of that token, and during the altcoin season, they're going to be offloading on a lot of people. It happens a lot with meme tokens. I would just say be very careful about going into a Trump or a Biden token. Regardless if you like Trump or you like Biden, that's not really the point. Those type of tokens just carry a little bit more risk than I think the average meme token, if you will. But you know what? If Trump wins election or Biden wins election, you'll probably see a massive pop off of those tokens. So I might just day trade the election night on those tokens for a little bit more fun. But honestly, I just don't know enough about those specific tokens. I just say there's a large risk there. You could have fun with it if you want to. Just don't allocate a large portion of your portfolio into it, and I think you'll be fine. Like I said, I make speculative bets all the time. I'm not going to say mine are better than worse or the Trump token or the Biden tokens. It's just that you don't want to allocate too much of your money into those just in case something bad were to happen to them. LRC. Oh, not much liquidity here, but we'll give it a shot. It's already had the move. The last golden cross didn't do much. This golden cross might not do much here. It's still headed back up to that resistance level of around 32 cents. After that, though, it looks like we have a slingshot effect that could take it up here towards 52 cents sometime over the next couple months or so. Really, though, let me see if I can pull this out. Yeah, it's just trying to break out. So I would say maybe in a month you could see it going back up here towards 50 cents, 46 cents. That's kind of what I'd be looking for there. How high was it back in the all-time highs? Over here on 393. To me, that wouldn't happen until like November, October type of time frames. I think the big goal for you right now is just to get above this order block right around here, around 52 cents. If it's able to do that, then I'm sure it can hit $1, and that's kind of the goal you're looking for right now. But in the short term here, next few months, it's really just about getting back up here towards 50 cents. Everything after that should come fairly easy, but until it has that, I wouldn't expect a parabolic run until it's actually able to break above this order block right here. And I would expect a lot of selling to come around this range as well. So it's basically, this is still a good opportunity to buy if you're holding for like the next like 2 quarters or so. But you definitely are going to be waiting a while before it has a very, very large move. And I'm talking about like really large move, like, hundreds of percents. Right now, it's looking at it making good moves, but hundreds of percents in like in a few weeks, that's not going to happen probably until at least the summertime. It looks fine though. It looks like you're buying at a very good price relative to where it's going to be going here. And at Condo, I appreciate it. I'm doing well. Condio, excuse me. It's goofs like Dogecoin Millionaire that influenced me to hold Doge. I bought at 57 cents and the SNL crashed and I froze and I held. I managed to average down to 21, but I'm out of my money and stuck. It's hard, but it's like a lesson that we all have to learn, right? So like right now, I think you're about to sell. I think your Dogecoin because it went back up towards 14 cents or so. I think that was the level you wanted to sell at. At least when you sell, you'll have that money. And you could either put it back into cryptocurrency, which of course adds risk to it, or you can move it over to the stock market, or you can use it to pay bills. You can use it for a whole host of stuff, but you have that money and it'll be liquid. It'll be liquid. And that's always a good way to think about it as well. OLE thoughts? Open leverage. All right, so this thing's already broken out. It's already popped. I don't really have much news before the 2020, so this might be it might have already popped to its all-time highs. This is not the level you want to be buying this at this point in time. You would have wanted to buy it when it was actually breaking out way over here. Let's see. Yeah, there's a change of character plus a buy right before this large move happened. Right before the large move happened. So at this point, you're scaling out, you're taking some of those profits. It's already started to dump down quite a bit, and it's looking like it's trying to bounce off of this order block right here. This thing has already probably come down quite a bit, hasn't it? Yeah, it's already down 53%. If you're in this, I would try to scale out a little bit to lock into some of those profits. Otherwise, this thing, because it has popped up so much, like how far did this thing go up over the last few days? Yeah, 7%. This thing could easily come all the way back down here towards 0.028 for another 50% drop from where it is now. So you want to be very, very careful with this one. This is going to be a high risk play. Typically when I see stuff like this, I see it consolidating, I see it coming down. I'd want this to come down quite a bit more, and I'd want it to actually like consolidate for a couple days at least before I buy back into it. And then on that breakout, I could double down into it, or I can buy during the consolidation. But at this point, I would be very, very careful. This thing could easily come all the way back down here. Maybe not even to this order block, but to this next level of support. And that would still take it down a whole nother 30%. So this is a very high risk play to be doing right now. Day traders, you're probably going to take an opportunity to go long and then try to break it out here. I don't expect it to go high like this though. I would expect it to do something more of a bounce, a lower high, and then eventually come down, and then from here break down or go higher. And this is a 15-minute chart, so it'll happen sooner rather than later. But over here, when you see the momentum, you'll have a better idea if you should be doubling down or not. Right here though, it's a day trade from here basically to there, and that's the trade you're looking for. And with a stop loss that's very, very close, it's not going to be a crazy trade to make. So it's there, but you got to honor that stop loss and just hope that it actually has a pretty decent rebound, because it does have a support level it is trying to hold right now. But it's high risk for sure. I know it's Sleepy Joe. Happy to help you out. The Living with Lucy is a new live stream video. Sorry about it. Your viewers need to watch it. If you guys want to watch it, you can. I don't know. I mean, if she was banned from YouTube, I'm assuming she did something bad. So just be careful when you watch channels like that. To me, just like, ooh, you know, again, it takes a lot to get, I don't know, it doesn't take a lot, but, you know, it's easy to follow the basic rules there. And even when my channel got banned, I was able to work it out by showing them, hey, this is what actually happened. Help me out, and so forth. Usually you're able to get your channel back. So I don't know what she did, but I think she broke some rule on YouTube if she was able to get banned from YouTube, right? About to take my Doge profits today to the casino tonight. LML, may the Lord be with me. Hopefully double up and buy more. I haven't gambled in a hot minute here. I don't think I've gambled in about a month. I played some slots just for the fun of it, and I won a couple $100, so that was pretty nice. I spent it on cigars. But casino is always a fun place to go. I think I'm going to go to Vegas in April, so that'll be something I'm looking forward to. But I have to hammer down if I'm actually going to this expo event, because that's the reason I'd be there. It would be for social media companies and stuff like that. So, like, yeah, it'd be around social media and influencers and stuff. Not so much the influencers, but how social media, how companies interact with social media influencers. So I'd be trying to see how they market to people like me, basically. I'm a risky girl. And hey, Alan, time Ethereum Classic is finally pumping. Oh yeah, look at Ethereum Classic going up right now. Look at that. $34. We move this over right here. Here's the 1 minute chart. It's kind of weird when you put it like this. I guess go back to the 5 minute chart. Oh wow, this thing is humming. Is it just going to go to the top of the screen? There you go. It came back down a little bit. It's up 14% though. Again, there was a breakout. What are you doing? I love you too. Yes, good boy. Hi. Yeah. Alright, but yeah. Ethereum Classic is just having a really good move. Good call, man. I see a lot of consolidation going on today, a lot of consolidation, but there's a few good moves like this. Litecoin is moving up a little bit higher as well. It looks like Ethereum Classic is definitely making that move. And of course, XRP is breaking out. XRP broke out a little bit ago, and look at that. It's still going higher. For anybody that wants to buy a breakout, there you go. Oh, even Dot's going higher. Yeah, watch Ethereum Classic here. Look at that. I mean, that thing just got bought up. Looks like it's taking a little bit of a dip now, but that was a nice move right there. Do I think it's a good idea to double down during the consolidation of coins that popped? You can. I would just say be careful with it. I tend to try to do them on different exchanges if possible. Like doubling down is a lot. Like if you want a dollar cost, if you want to like average up a little bit, yeah. But to do a large double down position, I'm a little bit more iffy on that type of stuff. I would just continue to dollar cost average what you've already been dollar cost averaging and kind of let it go up over time. Doubling down, sometimes it just makes your whole portfolio look kind of wonky. And I think people get psyched out from it a little bit. So I would say if you're able to deal with the, like, if you double down and the coin comes down 20%, are you okay with that? Even though you know it's going to go up even more down the road. But if you're okay with that, you can do it. If you might not be okay with that, then it might be better just to continue dollar cost averaging, because then if it does decide to take a dip back, then of course you can dollar average more. But it does spook people a little bit sometimes when you do double down and it comes back down. Your profit metric comes down quite a bit. So that's just the thing I would say there. And hey, Hari Ryu, hopefully I pronounced the name. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for these marathons, working in the MENA region, and it's nice to have someone going through the charts during my hours. Cheers, man. Can you do your magic on DOT and Kusuma? Yeah, I can look at some of those right there. And hey, AZTV, gotten at 0.1, sold at 1.5 when it comes to whiff. I was sad, but I'll rebuy if... I can't read that because the little heart emojis behind it. Had to stick with the plan. Hey, AZTV, you made money. A lot of people are not making money right now, despite the market going up. DOT. Didn't we just talk about DOT? There we go. Well, DOT's breaking out right now, so DOT's been moving higher ever since it had the breakout, plus all the buy signals here, which has been a good one. The weekly chart's still doing fairly well. It is dealing with a little bit of an order block here that's been around since, oh my God, all the way since August of 2022. So you should see a little bit of resistance kind of peaking up here as you start to hit some of these resistance levels towards the higher end, which just seems to be around $9.60. And right now it's at $9 basically. So another 60 cents or so. Get ready for a little bit of resistance there. However, what you have now is a pretty good level of what you might be looking for the next few weeks. Right, and that target seems to be around $12, and after that wow, you have a little bit around $14 to $15, but after that you pretty much have a nice straight shot all the way up here towards $23. So you're still in a good spot. You're at the beginning of the breakout relative to how this weekly chart looks, but as far as the day-to-day price action, you're going to be looking at some consolidation levels happening pretty soon. Let me see, can I do this? There we go. Or is this enough? No, I probably should go to the hour chart. Yeah, there you go. You're getting closer and closer to this level of resistance. This is where I would expect to see the most resistance that you're going to see for a while. Let me get out of magnet here. There we are. After that, I think you're good for a little bit as you start heading up towards $12 and so forth. But before this, I think there is going to be a little bit more of a hold. Right now, though, I mean, you can see it's definitely on the right move. See, 15 minutes is still bullish. Obviously, the hour is still bullish. The 2 hour is still very bullish. You would expect it to break out here pretty soon. You'll notice if there's a wall. I changed a character just formed on top of all this stuff. So yeah, let's get rid of that scribble. Looks like the next stop is definitely going to be around $9.70 to $10. I would probably scale out a little bit if you actually did the day trade we were talking about, or the swing trade if we were talking about. Other than that, I would let it ride a little bit. I would only scale out. I wouldn't necessarily be going crazy because that next level of resistance is up here towards 11.12. It looks like it's going to be worth it. As far as KSM is concerned, a similar concept, but a little bit more upside, I would say. Still breaking out, still doing fine. Momentum is still good. It's not the best, but it's still fine. Now, it did just break out here, though. It did just break out barely. And on top of that, we have a breakout structure. This one doesn't actually have as much resistance, so this one's a little bit easier. This one actually just wants to come back up here to at least $59. There are some works up here towards 64. Primarily, I don't know if it's just going to go shooting up like that. I would say it's probably going to take a stop around $58.50. That being said, let me see. A little bit more resistance over here. Yeah, there's definitely some more resistance up there that I don't like, kind of around the $68 range, $70 range. But right now, again, we're at $53. Focus on just getting your price back up here. And I would sell a little bit right here, around that $58 range. If it's able to consolidate and break out afterwards, by all means, you could sell right here. I probably wouldn't even sell at the $64 level. I'd be a little bit more greedy here, which is probably something I'm not supposed to say. And then I would anticipate it going up a little bit higher, back up above to up here. All right. So this is what you're looking at if you're holding for maybe a few months down the road. If you're able to hold on to that one, it can go back up towards $190 or so forth, because the price is only $53 right now. But for now, $58 first target right here, $70 second target. After that, $80 and so forth. Try to time these moves with what Bitcoin is doing, but I still think you're in a good spot to at least take your first scale out here. Second one right here. This third one, oops, that's not a good 3, but you guys, 3, there you go. That one's optional. And then from here, that big move is what you're hoping for. This is going to be something of an altcoin season move, though, so be careful with that one. You're probably going to have to be watching it very, very closely, which is going to suck because, well, actually, if you're making money on it, it's okay to watch it closely. But, a lot of us, we just don't want to watch crypto every single day, every single second. We have to go out and live a life a little bit. We want to make sure the price is still going fine. Chris Crypto was doing a Dogecoin giveaway. No, what do you call it? Chris Crypto is a scammer. Be careful of him. R&DR. Let me see. It's still consolidating on the daily chart right here. This is typically where you're going to see a lot of people try to buy into this and wait for that larger move. So I would say pretty soon you should see this actually take up to that next level, especially if Bitcoin's ready to make that larger move. This one, these AI tokens have been kind of moving a little bit more than the average token, but you can see the breakouts right there. We're right there at 787. We're currently at 770 as the price. We're really close. Now, as I zoom out here, though, what's the best way to go forward with this one? There you go. That next level you're going to have to pay attention to is around $12.58 or so. I think it's fine. That's where I'd probably scaling out a good chunk of it, because that, to me, that's a pretty good consolidation level here, because you break out a lot, you're going to have a few months of consolidation. This seems to be a good one right there, around 1267. On the other side here, if it does manage to break through that, you can try to hope for something over here on the $13 level, the $14 level. This is something that I think more people are going to be looking forward to. I'm just a little bit uneasy because, again, I don't have all the charting information, or maybe it's just that new of a token, relative to everything else. But really, next stop, let's just call it around $13 to $13.50. That'd be a pretty good stop loss level, or excuse me, price target level. Let me double check what I just said though. $12.58. Excuse me, $12.58 to $13.50. You have about a dollar range right there where you could sell, and I think that's reasonable. So that's right here to, if I have a magnet on, right here. This range, if it's able to wick up here, is where I'd be selling the majority of the position, because I would expect it to have a pretty significant pullback, and then from there maybe it goes higher. That's altcoin season stuff. But for now, week by week, it's still making some nicer moves. It's consolidating against the Fibonacci level. Once it breaks out, it should have a few days of just grinding. Sell a lot there, and if it does manage to blow through it, you don't have to sell. But for me, I would sell a good 25% at least at this level right here. Looking nice though. I mean, I have a R&DR, so I'm not even selling it there. I'm waiting even longer, but it's a long-term play for me. It's not a swing trade. Like right now, the RNDR is up what? Oh, I don't have it on this account. Maybe it's on the BYDFi account. Oh, hold on. I'm not even logged in. There you go. Do I not have RNDR? Where's I have it somewhere, but I guess it's not one of these accounts. But yeah, I have a good amount of it, mostly because it's in the crypto space. Is it really not in my Fairdesk account though? Whatever, it's fine. Anything special up? The NMR is up 400% right now. The Ocean is up 252%. Rune is up 154, and Ape Token is up 100. That's always nice to read. And then of course Lean is up 69. There we go. I wanted to sell at 15 because it would be a flat 5K loss, and I'm fine with it, but I missed the run. Do you think it will go up to 15 again? What do you call it? It all depends, man. Like, sure, it looks like it may do it, but Bitcoin right now is just trying to consolidate to break out above. So there still is a good chance, but like it may not. So like it really depends on what plan. Like set a plan right now. If Dogecoin hits this price, I sell and you got to stick with it. Otherwise, you're probably just going to be kind of waiting and kind of on the fence to figure out exactly what you want to do. If you don't need the money, I guess you could wait. If you need the money faster, you want to put it into crypto or just whatever, you can sell right now. It just all depends on what you're trying to do with it. Because if you go back to Dogecoin here, right now it's consolidating, right? It already made that next leg up. It's still moving up bit by bit, but ultimately, the high point here on a good time is around 16 cents, 15.8. So it might peak over here. It might go up over the next few days. A little bit more time, may give it more time to cook and go up a little bit higher. Or we may start to consolidate a little bit more, and we may have a dump that takes us back down maybe towards 13.5 cents or so. And then from there maybe we come back down a little bit more. It really just depends on where Dogecoin wants to go. At this point in time, it's looking a little bit bearish on the 15-minute charts. Not the worst. Hourly charts are turning bearish. 2-hour charts are turning bearish. The 4-hour charts are bullish. The daily charts are bullish. And the weekly chart is just turning bullish right now. So it really depends on what your goal is and like how long do you want to wait for it. VeChain, let's see. VeChain looks fine. It already had the breakout, so I'm not going to be buying into this one right now. Let's see. This one's interesting because it's kind of stuck right here at this old level of support, now resistance, kind of around 50 cents. Like pretty much where we are right now, like less than a penny difference. Oscillators are kind of off a little bit here because we've been going sideways for so long. I would say it's been making these higher highs here and a subtle higher lows. It kind of broke that right here, but still doing fairly decent higher lows. I would say that you would expect this thing to break out a little bit higher, and really it goes back to some of these older levels. You probably would see this take that next leap up towards 6.063, then eventually sometime over the next couple weeks up here to 0.088. That 0.88 I don't expect to happen soon, but over the next few weeks for sure. Let me pull up the weekly chart very fast and start this trend here. Yeah, it's hitting it. Yeah, 0.06655. That's why I'd probably draw a nice level of resistance. Looking at here, is this back over here to that? Yeah, it kind of matches up with one of the previous ones because this was a level of support over here, resistance over here. Yeah, I would say right now that's your big next level of resistance if you're able to break out above the Fibonacci level, which seems to be making a little bit of causing a little bit of issues here. I think this is the Coinbase move though. So that, see that this messed up so much stuff. Short-term price resistance is going to be around 0.054. Afterwards though, I'm really looking forward to it to get to 0.066. To me, that's going to be a pretty nice profit if you were to buy from now. Go up here. Yeah, it's a 35% profit. I could see that definitely happening, especially because the 20-day moving average is coming up pretty soon. It's going to want to have a pretty volatile move, either coming down into that or up. And right now, the market looks like it wants to go up, so you'd be looking for that type of move here. All right. Okay, buddy, I'm going to end the stream right here. It's been a good few hours of streaming. It's been 3 hours of streaming here. I go take Loki outside to use the bathroom. I got to go get myself some dinner, and it's also a Friday night, so I'm going to go relax and I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably watch a movie or something like that. If something crazy goes on with Bitcoin, I may be live later on. But right now, Bitcoin is really just trying to consolidate, trying to make this larger move, which will cause a breakout here, and then eventually break above $64,000. As far as streaming goes tomorrow, I have no set time for when I will be streaming. I will just hop on when I see something happening, and I'll be happy to talk with you guys about all that stuff down the road. I enjoyed the stream tonight. I enjoyed smoking that nice little Cuban cigar that kind of tasted like cinnamon and nougat and I don't know, graham crackers and stuff. But everybody, have a good rest of your night. I will see you guys tomorrow. Loki says hello. I always like having him here. And Loki will say goodbye to you guys as well. Let me see. Oh, he was already here, waiting for you. Got to move the microphone. Oh, yeah. Can you say hi? Oh. What's the heck? He has my context coming loose. All right. See you a little bit later, everybody, and thank you guys so much for watching the stream tonight.